Hey, did you set a limit or a range on farm? It went all the way up to 222. Yeah, it's cooling back off. I just That's right. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to check because it run up. I wasn't paying attention. 10-4. All right, buddy. I just want to check on you. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to TA. Yeah. Well, I'll get that fixed right quick because I'm friends with Johnny, so I'll get her muted. Damn, we just went to 229, 231. All right, buddy. Enjoy your company. Later, buddy. Soren, you on that? Soren here. Hannah.
Check, check.
Is it working?
Yes, working.
Am I lagging?
No, you're not lagging a bit.
So I'm sharing my screen on Discord, and the other thing is running. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tabs open and 6 tabs, 1, 2, no, 5 tabs open in TradingView.
Wow, impressive, son. Now we're going to go down to TA at 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, his chart looks good too. Good in high res. Chemical got upset with me because I told her not to disrupt the class. She said, "Are you going to tell everybody that?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody that. Don't interrupt the teacher."
I promise you one thing, I'm not as a teacher.
I'm just saying. I just showed her everything in it, so she's got a heads up better than most people because I just spent 30 minutes showing her how you set up a smart trade.
Well, good on you, friend.
Oh
I
yeah.
was in there with you, Jack. I saw you trying to work your magic.
Snook, man, you gotta send me your phone number, bro.
Yes, sir. It shall be done.
I was finding out from Doge King how to make an NFT out of that Pablo Escobar, the drug king's his pilot's briefcase that I have, evidence item from the United States Federal Court. Went into evidence in 1988 when they convicted Jack Reed right here in Northeast Florida of being the pilot for Escobar. And I want to turn it into an NFT, and see if we can't sell that baby.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I sent Drew all the pictures of it one time. He hooked me up with where I could get an NFT minted, but Doge King and all them down there, they deal in NFTs already. So I was wanting to get some advice from guys that already know what they're doing.
So if you got in on that farm, you made 13% right there.
That's awesome. Too bad I was busy helping Chemical. Because I started to trade in it, and the whole time it was underwater. So finally I said, geez, what's wrong with this? So I just stopped the trade.
Yeah, I didn't jump in this time. I left this one alone. I was busy, caught up doing some other stuff. It was a nice run me and Donnie did on the last one. I was trying to get it again, but I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't focused, so I didn't bother.
I'll catch the next one, I hope. But hey, you can't get them all, right?
That's right. Well, it done
You should.
14.66% in a little over 17 minutes.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Of course, look at what that other one did the other day. Jeez.
You all know. I mean, it's unheard of. But that's why I was saying if I had pinned myself to the wall over there.
It's all right. That's how we learn, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I can't blame nobody but myself. Look, this thing's ain't done. It's still going to try to go. I was trying to get hold of Sora. So I didn't know if he went back in or not.
Let me go see what I got on mine. And maybe I can start one. I think I got enough.
Nah, it just bumped up to 240 right there.
Probably too late now to get in it, but I'll try.
I don't know. No financial advice.
Yeah, it might hold. Let me check it out. That damn farm again.
I mean, it might make a little bit. I ain't gonna say it's
I
gonna
was
make
a
a lot.
farmer at heart anyway. I got all these chickens.
I mean, if you throw 1,000 at it, you can make a decent little piece of change.
It's got a little breathing room. See,
Not financial advice.
it's getting ready to run. It's doing its thing right now. It was, phew, boy, damn that mine.
I'm just going to start a real simple trade. See what happens.
It's back up there where it was when we had it, Donnie. Almost.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see what it does.
I say 255.
See, I'm underwater on this one. Dude, well, now I am on them too. Now I guess the market's turned down on Doge. These were all green with profit a minute ago. That's all right. It'll turn around again. That's the way that damn Doge is.
I don't believe I'm waiting on a Bitcoin buy at 43,250. I don't think I'd ever say that. I'm buying Bitcoin. how times have changed.
Yeah, we didn't think anything of it back when, back in 2016 and so, 17.
When 2017, I didn't even blink an eye at it.
I looked at it because I had that business and I had a tech in there doing mining. I was just trying to ask questions about it. Then I asked him how much worth, and he told me, and I said, "Oh, hey, worth damn time to put in it." Or was I wrong?
I have a fruit for me to get to, so I got something a little like low hanging fruit.
Yeah, we all learned a lesson off of that. Now we're ready for it next time.
I believe so. Sometimes.
Well, readier than we were. How's that?
That'll work. I'll take that, Jack.
Did you get that, Snook?
Hold on.
Damn, the market must have tipped upside down here. I see one of my charts is upside down. Yeah, it took my eye off the ball, and it all went south.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. There's too much shorting and longing in that font. It's jumping way too much for me.
Yeah, I trade better at night when I'm relaxed and can think.
Some good scalping in there, though. I mean, fluctuation and it's money in there. You know what you're doing.
I did good all night last night, all night. Even when I got in bed, I did one last one sitting on the edge of the bed.
I know you woke up this morning feeling good. I heard you.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some bags that I didn't have before.
Those are the best kind of bags under your eyes to wake up to.
You aren't kidding.
No cucumbers needed for that one.
Nope. I'm thinking about dropping this one.
This week, I'm going to liquidate some more. I'm finally under 200 stocks. So I'm going to bring that down to about 50. And I guess I'll trim the fat on that one next week.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
I would get with you and Donnie and figure out which couple of these I'll throw on the block. See how we do. I mean, this is play money, so I might as well learn something so I can teach something.
That's right.
If you in farm, you got a little bit of room left, not much.
I'm in it, but I'm red right now. Maybe it'll turn green here in a minute. I'm looking at my chart and I see why these are red.
BTC taking a little dip too. Candle. I'm on the 1 hour.
That ought to give me back some coins.
I just want to buy low so I can move it around. I'm buying them on Cash App. And once I get them going up, I'll buy them and then move them around after that.
At one
All
hour,
right. I'm almost. Well, no, I was green on farm for a second. Now it turned red again.
at 1 hour, hit that 4 hour RSI, and it took a turn. That's what that is.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll see what's going to happen.
Here you go.
Thank you, darling.
Do you have a drink?
Oh man,
Got a lot of dang Doge coin, man.
just another Sierra Mist would be great.
It wouldn't let me sell my farm earlier. I tried to sell it in Coinbase. It wouldn't sell. So if you're loading up with farm, you ain't going to be able to move it.
Yeah, move your
Unless you got three commas.
No, I'm saying it. I tried to go in and sell it off, earlier, and it wouldn't let me.
On 3 commas?
On my Coinbase, maybe 3 commas will do it. That's a thought. Let me see if it'll do it. I didn't think about doing that.
Yeah, if you've got some of them in your pocket, just go over to Smart Sale and set up a sale.
That sounds like a real smart idea.
Coming from a smart guy.
Yeah, he is. Good. I've recovered a little of my cash I needed back. Okay. Can you pick your coin down here? I need to go up top to pick it, Tony.
Top.
That's what I figured. Password keeper quit popping up on me.
That you can also, instead of doing a Smart Sale, you can just do the buy sale page and just go over to the sell side. Sell however many you want.
What do you mean buy sell page?
Hold on, I'm eating pancakes.
Take your time. I used to be able to eat things like that.
Man, that sounds real good too, man. Nice little stack of pancakes. I'll be back.
I got some pancakes, some scrambled eggs, and some bacon.
Nothing doesn't inspire me to eat breakfast for dinner. It's on.
That's right. But right underneath the window there, Jack, there's you got Smart Trade, Smart Cover, and all that. All the way to the left is buy sell. It's just like using any other trading platform. You just sell at limit or market price.
All right. I don't see my coin though. Oh, here we go. Sell side.
You got a little bit of room left on that farm, Jack. Get ready to squeeze it.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. That was easy enough. Yep, my bag's getting bigger. Now I make real money with that damn Q coin. I use 10% now instead of 20, and I hit it every time for $100 as fast as I can pull the trigger.
That farm, this is right where I came out, 254, I believe, when I took that.
Yeah, I'd love to done this with my Q coin, man. I'd have made $2,000, but I missed the whole trade.
You're going to catch the next fishing trip. Don't worry.
Yeah, the problem is Q coin doesn't have farm, so I can't do it in there. I tried earlier to find it in there. Only thing I can do with it in there is, with the damn, I should have left it in there. trade.
Getting close.
I was watching the 1 second. That's crazy.
I got it on the 1 minute right now just so I can see that 1 minute RSI because it's following that pretty hard.
I don't fell in love with the 3 minute for some reason. It's a mix between the 5 and the 1.
We'll see what happens.
That 1 minute's already starting to curl a little bit.
It always does when I get in.
BTC on the 3 minute looked like it's trying to do a double bottom.
Ready to get it at this low price.
Thinking about buying right now. I was gonna wait till 43250, but I don't know. I'll wait and see how this candle play out.
So you've been fishing this all day, Donnie?
Nah,
Did you get that candle on the left side there?
no, me and Snook was talking about it earlier. I come in at the wrong time, and then I was waiting on to close a couple of the other trades, and the by the time I called you, it had already run up.
That's my luck.
Yeah, I had too many positions open. I didn't have any more funds to open anymore.
Me too. Well, I'm going to go down to the old TA and wait for the class and let you get ready, Donnie, so you take your time and do what you got to do, and I'll just sit down there until, it's 5, 6, 8 minutes away. So
Roger that. I'm gonna finish eating these pancakes.
thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna need all your energy for chemical.
Yeah, right. Appreciate everything, brother.
Does anybody have any TA on Doge and BTC? What the new lines of support are?
Donnie?
Give me 1 second. Let me put my plate down.
I'm going to run down to the class, Donnie.
All right, buddy.
Is Donnie having like some kind of class for people to learn stuff or what?
Yeah.
Yep.
For e-commerce. Cool, I'll go check it out. Thank you.
So we took a good bounce off that 238 mark with Doge. That's always been a bounce, but the truth is it's going down. It's got to have a little time to cool off. Looks like we might try to do a little sideways action right here the way the RSIs are lining up. You got your RSIs cooled off and they're curling back up now. So you got your 1 minute coming back down. So you might just do a little sideways up and down right here in this little area for probably the next, I'm going to say at least hour or so until it figures out where it's going to cool off at. We got to see what BTC's doing. It's probably
Doing the same thing. Doing the exact same thing you just said.
Yeah, exact same thing. So it's pretty much following what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin, it might go back down and touch that 43,216 again. Would be the first level.
Does anybody have an opinion why it bumped up like 5-6 cents in the past day or two? Was there like some kind of catalyst? Like, did Elon Musk tweet or what's going on with that? Because I'm still confused why it went up so much.
It was time. I mean,
It's been suppressed for a long time.
The volume showed up. When the volume showed up, the price goes up.
At the end of the week, where do you think BTC will be?
I think it's going to depend on the retracement. What kind of retracement we do if we go back down to C42, bounce off at 42. Some are saying we might fall all the way back down to 36, 35. You know, I'm not the one to be that bearish. Um, go down and bump at 42 and go back up and see 48.
That's why I see that if you look at the daily on BTC, it looks like it's going to try to form a cup and handle on the next 2 day candles on an uptrend.
It's debating where I should get into BTC at what position I put myself in.
I'm trying to do the same thing, brother. I'm thinking 40, 42, 250. But I don't know if it's even going to reach that. I think like Donnie was saying, around 42 and bounce up. I just don't know what 42.
Look at a crystal ball and tell me all this.
See, if you hit at 3 commas, you're going to buy close as you can to the bottom, buddy.
Yeah, he is right.
What is 3 commas?
There's a class in a few minutes. We'll explain all of that, brother.
What's the guy's name again? Streaming it?
That'd be me.
Who is this? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm trying to eat. My name's Donnie.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Daniel. I'll be tuning in when you do start your thing.
Gonna be good.
Especially now that I have my bacon, man.
Right? You can't do a good presentation without no bacon. I don't know where that's just not done. Turkey bacon for all you veggies.
Is 3 commas like a superior strategy versus like using RSI and all that stuff and lines of support and resistance? Or is it, I've never even heard of it.
It's a bot. I'll show it to you. I've got a link in referral links over in our Discord. I'd really appreciate it if you use my link.
Yeah, no problem. I'll click on it.
Does anybody have our YouTube pulled up?
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I'm gonna put a link for my YouTube because I got a YouTube live going. And what do I need to put it? Random, not general.
That I don't know. I would say helpful link, Donnie, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I'm streaming what I'm doing on YouTube live, so I put it in random stuff, non-general. It's just my YouTube link. If somebody could grab that and put it in the YouTube if they want to see it. I don't know if they want to see it or not.
New daily candle on Dogecoin is pretty positive so far. BTC is kind of iffy so far, but hopefully it leaves room for us to breathe.
Hello?
Hey, Donnie.
So we live now?
I reckon we are. I see that thing still ripping.
Hold on, let me go look.
It looks to me like if that orange and yellow line both meet on the bottom and curl up towards the top, maybe Doge will do something here in about 30 minutes or so.
I posted the YouTube link in Random Not General. I don't know if anybody's got Tame's YouTube up. I don't know if the guys in YouTube want to see what's going on in here. Can somebody post that link into Tame's channel?
So take the link from Random General and put it in Tane's.
Yeah, I don't know if you can or not. I mean, if those people want to watch it.
I believe that Tame's friends and people that he's got working for him probably already know all about this and might let him know, so he can decide most likely.
Well, he told me the other night he wouldn't get in trouble, so.
Well, yeah, definitely do the rules. Yeah. Got no problem with doing the rules.
So everybody kept asking about putting my Doge wallet and XLM wallet. On my YouTube link, I did put my Doge wallet and my XLM wallet on there.
There you go. Is that, where is your YouTube link?
Random non-general.
Oh, okay. So it's right there. I've done donated, so I'm good.
That's right.
I'm ahead of the game. I tell you, when I take that ruler and measure how low I want to allow it to go down before the stop limit hits, that really helps a lot. It tells you exactly how much percent to add to that setting. I used it the other night and it saved me, real well.
Have we got everybody in here that's going to be in here?
I'm not sure, but hopefully the people that were wanting to see the class, the ones that asked for it, will chime in and let us know they're here.
Is Bear in here? I know he was wanting to see this.
Did y'all announce it in the other room by chance? I just got on.
No, I don't know if we did or not. Did you, Don?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Okay. I've been out with my friends.
Most people know. Well, wait a minute. We're not in any hurry. Or let me speak for myself. I'm not in any hurry.
Well, there again, I'm sharing my screen in here and on YouTube.
nice. Ooh, this was about to finish out right here, 143 bucks on that farm. I just started it a couple of minutes ago, 155. That's not bad.
That's not
And my
bad at
other
all.
over here is an 83, and I already took the first half of the profit.
How many we
It's
got in the lobby? I can't see the lobby.
it's my poor damn Doge that's ailing the lobby.
How many
Let me
people are
go.
in this room? Is it a bunch?
It's pretty full. It's got about 20.
No.
I just told 420 y'all are starting. I think there's a few people coming over.
Thank you.
What screen am I sharing on Discord? Am I sharing my chart?
Yes, looks like you are.
Whew. That's ugly. You still in the active trade?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's still ripping. This damn farm is going farm crazy. Well, that's a wonderful, beautiful thing.
I'm gonna wait till 10 after, then I'm gonna start.
You still in a farm trade yourself?
No, sir.
You ought to start one real quick.
No, sir.
No,
It's about over.
it's ripping. We're trying to.
I just got out of my farm bag. I'm not going back in.
You do pretty good.
Yep, I set the smart and traded 2% over, and I took it and was happy.
That's nice. Yeah.
It's enough to make you panic, that's for sure. But all right, well
Man, if it wasn't for this run up, I'd be in trouble.
yeah, you got 4 RSIs that are good, get ready to come down, Jack.
Yeah, I see them. Everything's pointed up right now on farm though.
No, sir.
In the 1 hour, I'm looking at it on my Coinbase.
Look at my screen and look at all the other RSIs pointing.
Oh, I see one hauling ass down now.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. It's about done.
Yeah, well, I got mine up here, so I just have another one over here. I'm noticing that this Mac has been slow to deliver results here.
All right, well, it's 10 after 8. I'm going to get this part started. Let me switch my screen over and go to the 3 commas.
Go for it, sir. What time period are you viewing it at when you view it, Don?
1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. My God.
Yeah, when you're getting close to the bottom and you're trying to get close, zoom in. Figure out where you're at. You know, I mean, 1 hour looks great on everything, but when you're trying to dial in and get figure out what's happening, you gotta zoom in. I mean, the chart looks totally different. Candle patterns are totally different. You know, you zoom in and look at it and see how much room you got left.
Yeah, I see it stipped in there. All right, then.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen. I don't know. I can't see the lobby because I'm streaming on YouTube. So if I clog up the screen, it just I can't see everything. Um, I don't know how full my stream is. If I'm full, can somebody please restream it?
I'm gonna get out and go. I'm gonna go on YouTube so I can get out.
No, you don't have to do that. I'll stream this screen for you.
YouTube seems to work good for me though. It's bigger on my eye.
Well, if you want.
And like I said, my YouTube, I did put my Doge wallet and my XLM wallet with memo. For those of you who want a tip, there it is. I ain't gonna be all modest. I'm gonna let it all hang out. I'm glad to do it though. I'm glad to help people. If anybody has any questions, chime in and ask. That's what it's here. That's what
I can't seem to get yours to stream on mine.
it might take a second to load. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to change windows for you so I can be streaming yours for you.
Try to find something that
I
looks
think
good.
I got you now. Yeah.
All right, so
All
we're
right,
good.
I got you.
I'm streaming. You're streaming me. You're restreaming what I'm streaming. So if anybody has any questions, yell or shoot me a message. I'll try to look at it on the other screen. So switch mics. I can't. I can't switch mics.
You guys,
Better reserve them. Thank you.
that's good. Quick question. So, I'm trying to link up my API key to my Binance account or my three commas, and every single time I put the API key on there with the API secret, it gives me a message saying that either the key is not available or incorrect, and if I just created the key, to please wait 30 seconds. Keep waiting 30 seconds and keep trying to reconnect, and it won't let me. Do you guys encounter that issue?
Yeah.
Yes, when you select, are you selecting withdraw as one of the choices?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
You know how you go in and when you make your key, and you go in and try to put it in three commas, it gives you a bunch of choices of what you want it to be able to do. And
Okay.
if you select withdraw, it's going to cause a problem.
I know why it does that. It does that because, okay, like if you tried to take your money out right now, it won't let you. It'll make you like send your bank statements in and stuff like that. So you can't take your money out, and that's why it's not letting you. That's what it did for me anyway.
So make sure you
Same
have
exact thing.
no IP whitelisting enabled. Make sure you just have it free, no whitelisting or blacklisting or anything like that. Just make it open.
So I just I only have the enable spot trading and can read boxes checked out on my Binance. The enable withdrawals I have unchecked.
Is that an old key you're using, or you're creating a new?
I keep creating a new one because it keeps giving me the same message, so I'm not 100% sure.
I encountered problems similar to that too.
Just see if you can withdraw your money, if he'll let you.
Well, the issue he's having is he can't get the thing connected.
I know, but that's why I went through the same thing for a long time. I couldn't figure it out, and then I found out that if you can't withdraw your money, you can't do that.
Not that chemical.
It's only
Are you sure you're entering the everything correctly? Are you copying it and pasting it?
Yes, sir. Pretty much. And I can't withdraw my money because I do use this Binance account on the daily. So I know.
You take the money out into your put it in your bank, because I was using it for 6 months. I put money in. I took out coins. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, they wouldn't let me take the money out.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can take the money
And
out.
I was able to do that thing with the key before, and then right when I couldn't take my money out, I couldn't do it.
That's not a problem. Let's move on, please. We only have it's late.
Well, I know that's what's wrong. I mean, I even talked to him about it. I don't know why nobody believes me.
Because this
Hey,
is
hey
common
guys, carry
problem.
on. I'll just try to figure it out as you guys go.
Is my mic better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So with the API key, one of the things, copy paste everything, even the passphrase. Make sure that you got the passphrase in there as well, because Binance, you have to have that passphrase, the key and the secret key.
Got you. As far as the name on 3 commas when it asks you for the name, API key, and API secret key, does that matter?
No, just make it whatever nickname name you.
Gotcha. I'll try to figure it out, and you guys can go ahead and start. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm streaming okay. I'm not buffering. Mic sounds better. We're good to go, right?
Yep.
All right. So the way I've been showing everybody on all this stuff is the first thing that you're going to want to know, if you don't know charting, is your ruler. Your ruler is your friend, because we can come in and we can measure how much something goes up or down. So in that one little move right there, we had 3.64% in 12 bars, which was an hour, right? So let's say you were in this for the long haul, you wanted to do bigger moves. So you wanted to set a trade up that looked like 5%. Well, I'm on Dogecoin, so we know what it takes to move 5%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so happens it's been way more volatile here lately. So it's easier to get those kind of movements. So with that information that we just gathered right there, we're falling right now, right? So I use my trading view chart a lot because I've got the jolt indicator on there. And so I watch those RSIs to find where I'm going to be near the bottom, right? So let's say 2351, was, let's get 23,585, right? So if we were going to call this somewhere close to the bottom before we take our next bounce, and we wanted to do 2%, right? We already know we can easily get 3. So we'll go down with that information that we just learned. So you can come in here and you can put in, you can do a market buy or you can do a limit buy. If you're good with charting and you know that you want to be at that mark and you want to do a trailing buy, and with depending on how loose or tight you want to run that spread is how far you want to run that trailing buy. If you're willing to give it, a percent, you're giving up a percent. Does that make sense? Me, on something, when I know I'm at close to the bottom, I normally run it real tight, just for the simple fact of I'm going to keep it close because I'm starting the trade there. So I want to keep a 1/4% tolerance on something that I know where the bottom is, I know where my bounce is going to be. So that keeps me trailing down and buying the bottom within a 1/4%. And then you select, how much of the bag you want to use, and then that's how many Doge you're going to use. Then you come over and you do your set take profit. So we already talked about we've seen 3%. So we'll do a 2.5% trade, and you can do a trailing take profit. And all that means is you're going to sell at 2.5%. It initiates the trade. So I'll show you here in a sec once I get this order created what it looks like on the chart. At 2.5%, it's going to initiate the sale. If it keeps going past that 2.5%, it's going to keep going. How much are you willing to let it hang out? Always depends on this number right here. If you want to let it breathe, 1%, 2%, that's the number you put right there. Let's just say I'm going to do 0.5%, 0.5%. But that number is always a negative for the simple fact that that's how much it retraces back down before it finishes the sale, if that makes sense. So now, worst case scenario, I'm going to make 2% on that trade because it's going to trace back down 0.5 off at 2.5. But if it goes up to 3, then I'm going to make 2.5. If it goes up to 3.5, I'm going to make 3%. As long as it's still pushing up, it's going to stay in the trade until it starts to come back down. And once it comes back down that 0.5%, it's going to sell. Everybody still with me?
Yes, sir.
So now you can see where I've got the buy and the take profit set on the chart. So you went into this, you don't want to lose money, and you want to do a stop loss. %2 is a long way on Doge. So you can set a negative 2%. You notice that's a negative. Notice that's a negative. Notice that's a positive. But you're only going to fall 2%. So you can set a stop loss timeout, which will give you 30 seconds so a super wick don't come down and kill you. You can also do a trailing stop loss. So if this was a big trade, so it was like a 10 or 15% trade, you can have this stop loss always be under you all the way up the chart. So now that's what it looks like with the stop loss in place. Your take profit, your buy. Any questions?
Donnie, on the stop loss, can you go back down to your screen so I forgot my question already. I'm so tired. It's been a long. It was a little lower. I had a question, but I can't even remember it. Gee.
So, Donnie, you may want to clarify for new users, this is Johnny, by the way, on what you consider to be a good percentage for profit.
And that's where I was starting because we came in and we were measuring, going through our candles and measuring where we had movement. Um, I show me what you want, John.
So, like when your bot's in profit, it'll give you a percentage, right? It'll be a green percentage.
Correct.
So some people may not know what is considered a good profit percentage for your bot. So that way, if let's say I always went by 3 to 5% was pretty good, 3% is pretty good, and if it got down into the ones, I would typically stop the bot and readjust. So you may want to clarify what you guys consider to be a good profit on the bot.
Well, and this is a trade. This is not, a multiple running. This is a single trade.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that, if it was a bot that was running, like a grid bot or something like that, then yeah, then that's where,
Gotcha.
or a DCA. Johnny, do you mess with the DCA bot?
I use BitScap and Crypto Hopper AI bots for about 3 months, and I did DCA and all that stuff. So I don't use them anymore, but I did. I never used 3 commas.
So with this, Johnny, what we've been able to do is, and Jack can attest to this, is these dips, like this dip right here that you see on my screen, this dip, being able to buy the closer to the bottom without having to think about it, and then selling closer to the top right here on these little rips, on these little 3% rips, 2% rips, whatever percentage you want to rip, on these single trades have been amazing. I mean, I was on a hell of a streak until I put myself in a bad trade. It wasn't on purpose, I can promise you, but it was on greed. Greed got me. I got greedy on a trade, but I kid you not, I was 34 for 34 until I went into a greedy trade.
That's what folks need to hear. They need to hear that. They need to hear stuff like that. They need to hear horror stories, and they need to hear the good stories too, because I've got my share of horror stories with Gridbot, so I totally get it.
Well, I was 34 for 34 doing small scalps, and it got to where I was doing bigger and bigger and bigger, and I I got wrecked. Jack, how much was it? Was it 900? Right at
Roughly.
yeah, right around $900. I got wrecked because I got greedy on 2 bots.
So explain to them kind of more in detail how you got wrecked on that, like with what you did that you shouldn't have done, or what you should have done.
Well, I was watching.
This is Phoenix. One question before you do that story. Can I ask a question?
Go right ahead, buddy.
Yes.
Thanks. That 30 seconds you mentioned before, is that to prevent them from throwing a wick up or down? They do that immediate wicker up and down to cancel out some trades.
Exactly.
Is that what
Yes.
they sit there for?
Exactly. It's stop that granddaddy long leg. Now, if it was a
Yep.
candle, come down here and sit for 30 seconds. You know, you could set it for however long you want, however many seconds you want. But if it was just a wick it come down here, it wouldn't trip you out of the trade.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
So I mean, it's a good, it's a good thing to have if you're worried about being stuck in a trade, like I did.
Now is my question a part of this, but is the 30 seconds still wait to trigger the stop loss?
Yeah, once it crosses, once that wick stays, that candle comes down and stays for 30 seconds, it's gonna pull you out.
That's if you haven't set it 30.
If you could have it set for 300 seconds,
Yeah, the
however long
default
you
is
want.
300.
Here for 30. Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Default is 300. So be sure you set it to what you want. But the default is 300 every time.
Yeah, if that wick jumps down there and touches it and you don't have it set, it's gonna knock you out the trade. I say it was only the wick that popped out and then it automatically turned around and started going on a price run up. Now you're missing out on money because you've been kicked out. But if it just pops down and jumps back up, and you have it set, it's not gonna kick you out, and you continue going back up with your stop limit, stop loss out, and you still getting profit.
And I lost money on that day that Donnie lost money by having mine set too short. And so sometimes in a trade, you're underwater for a little while and then all of a sudden you're in profit. But if it trips you while you're underwater, then you're biting that. So if you're underwater $300 and you're just waiting for it to come back up because something's ripping, which it would have done if you didn't get tripped. And that's what got me. I lost a couple of trades that way.
That's great information. Thanks, guys. That's the dark side of this. Some folks times you need to hear sometimes so they don't make the same mistakes.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
And
And now, Donnie, you tell them how you got what you did wrong.
What's a good average time though that you found so far? What's been useful to you guys?
I use 30 and 45 seconds all the time if I use a stop loss.
And I use the ruler and figure out for myself because when I do a trade, I'm prepared to lose the money that I do the trade with to start with. But I don't want to lose all that money if it goes bad. So I take the ruler and measure from the bottom of where we're starting, the bottom of where we're talking about, uh, or even from the top and figure out, well, actually from the bottom and see if something went wrong, how far do I want to let it go down, before I finally say, hold it, this is too far of a loss. So whatever that is, if it's 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, then you just set your percentage at that level and it will not trip that stop loss until it reaches that percent.
All right, so this is what happened to me the other day. I had a good run. Um, it, it wasn't on Doge, it was on another coin, but it's similar layout. Um, I got up that morning and it was rolling, and I was doing, scalps and making good money, doing scalps, making good money, scalps, making good money, scalps, making good money. And then I got over, here where I had a big run up, and I scalped, made big money, made scalp, made big money. So I opened two bags, scalped, scalped, and then it went up here, and it before I could hit stop, this thing had already retraced 30%. I couldn't even get out. I was already upside down because one, I didn't use stop loss. Two, I got greedy. I'd already seen this RSI was way too high for me to get in. I chased the green when I shouldn't have. I knew the RSI was high, and I knew that we were getting into no man's land, uncharted territory. I had no business getting in those two trades, and I pulled the trigger anyway out of greed.
Been there, done that, brother.
I mean,
And my story is the same. I had two bags going and it did the exact same to me too. It just shot down real fast and then I tried to hang in there. And if I'd have just closed it right then, I'd have been out a lot, but I sat there and waited thinking it was going to pump back up, and it didn't. And the longer I waited, the more money I lost. And finally, when it reached $1,700, I said, that's enough. And I killed it.
But that gives you the horror stories. But and the best part about what I've seen with this setup, with doing this and going back and knowing exactly where your trade's going to be and setting up your protection, I went over and over and over again, making wins over and over. You can scout this over and over just because you took your measuring and you know about where you were at on the map before. So you figure all that was 3%. Everything we done right there was 3%. That one was 2.9. So me sitting here, playing in a 2.5% scout over and over again, you know, I could run that trade over and over again all day long on that one on Doge. That's on Dogecoin.
Last night, I set one up, Donnie, before I went to bed. And I set it up with a stop loss. So if things go south, it'd stop altogether. And I set it up, with the right different adjustments. And when I got up this morning, I had $200 on my machine.
That's right. That's the way to do it right there. All right. Now y'all ready to go a little bit further with this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Johnny, you ready for this one?
Yeah, hit me.
So now we're going to talk about split targets. This is one cool feature about being able to do this in one trade, because you could take multiple profits throughout the trade. So we've already got this one set at 2.5%, right? So let's say we want to set the next one at 3.5%. And see, we're using 25% of our bag. We use 25% of our bag on that one. So now we've got a 2.5%, a 3.5%. Let's say this last bag, we want to do 5%. So we've got 3 different bags that we're going to sell. We're going to sell at 2.5%, 3.5%, and at 5%. We're going to sell 50% of our bag at the top. And this is just an example. How you set it up is up to you. But it has to equal 100% of your bag, right, in order to close the trade. Now you can come up here on the chart and you can see what that looks like. If you don't like the way that looks, you don't think that target 3 is going to hurt, is going to hit, you can always go in and adjust it. So if we create this trade, don't worry, y'all, this is a paper trade. So I ain't worried about it. So the cool thing about this program is I've got this button over here, and I can go ahead and open this trade now. You see how it's waiting? Because it's not going to buy until it's at its lowest point, right? Another thing we could do with this is we can always go in and edit that trade. So where we had that 5% bag set up there, and it looked a little out of range for where we wanted to be, we could go in and edit that. And then you come over here and you click this, and then it's going to open your targets because now you've created that trade and you got a buy pending.
Where you got your stop loss at?
2%. It won't show you. It won't show you that till it goes in. Hold on, let me do that. Let me just go ahead and open the trade so y'all can see what it looks like. So when you open that trade, it's going to give you the status bar of what's going on with it. You know, whether you're dropping down, whether you're in the red, whether you're in the green, whatnot. So let's say it did dip a little bit or something. You can always come in and add funds to that bag to make it look a little better because it dipped a little bit. So if you wanted to add 10% of your money, you can come in and add 10% right quick, and then it'll tell you about it down here. All your information is right here below you. But then you can come up here and it's going to give you a pop out of the chart with all your information laid out for you.
Aloha, beautiful people.
What's going on, buddy? But see, you see, I mean, we it shows you exactly where all your take profits are, where your stop loss is, the whole 9 yards.
And definitely play with it with a little tiny bag over and over and over again until you get good enough and confident enough to do anything else, right?
Exactly. I mean, you know, the first few times I used it, I think I was playing like $20. You know, just a little bit. You know, just to see, you know, if it was going to buy and sell exactly where we were talking. So I was just throwing a little bit at it, so I got comfortable with the program. I knew how to make the trade, and I knew how to get in and out of it.
And then you were killing it till you got greedy, right?
That's right. I mean, I was doing really good. I mean, I really was. I was all pumped up. I mean, I couldn't believe it. 34 for 34 was an amazing run.
It's all right. I messed up too. Don't feel bad.
I learned a valuable lesson.
I know you did. It is a wonderful tool, though.
Everybody's being quiet. I know somebody's bound to have a question.
Okay, Phoenix here again. So this would be an example of a single trade. Now, if you were doing, can you save this to use it again? I don't know. How does that work?
You can always go back in and put the same trade in again. Um, it doesn't. I don't know that there's a way to save your exact parameters. Um, I know as long as you don't refresh the page, that stays there. All that information that we just put in would stay there, but you would just have to put a parameters in to do another trade.
Also, I was going to remind that it also will do the same coin in multiple trades if you want. But that's how me and him got in trouble because we got greedy and we had too much going at one time and then it dropped out from under his wick.
And another thing,
And I didn't have a stop loss.
hey,
Okay, when you said you had multiple trades, does that mean you had the multiple points in which you bought and sold, or what do you mean by that?
exactly
No,
right.
you start as many coins as you want. I mean, you could start a Doge coin trade, then start another one and another one. As long as you got a big enough bag to keep feeding as many trades as you want, you could have 2 or 3 trades running or 4.
Yeah, you're gonna have multiple buy points whenever you do that, and you can like so. I just started this trade over here on Doge. I can come over here, you know, when when you get so when you click my link, you're going to sign up. You're going to be on the pro version for 3 days, and then if you sign up for the cheapest version, it's going to be $14.50 a month if you pay for it by the year, or you pay $29.99 a month. But what that gives you is unlimited trades, so you could do as many of these you want, uh, all you want, and then you can also run one grid bot or one DCA bot at the same time. So if you wanted to go while that trade's running, you wanted to go. You want to come over here and look at XLM and set up a trade on XLM. Then you start your homework all over again. Do your measuring. Figure out what your average is, what you're normally seeing through your XLM. I already know what to put for XLM. So I mean, I've set these up so many times it ain't even funny.
Can I add something real quick, John?
Sure.
I was just going to warn them that if you're in a trade and the market turns against you and starts going down, get the hell out of it, because the longer you sit there and wait, if the market continues to go down and doesn't ever turn back up, when you finally end that trade, it's going to take that much from your bank. So let's say you're in a trade that's going up and you're up $100, you got in the green $100, and then all of a sudden the market turns and you're still in the trade and it starts going down, and you've lost that 100 and you're at zero, but you don't get out. So now it continues down like it did me on Donnie, except it did it in a matter of seconds. All of a sudden you're down however far it can get before you stop the trade. So if it goes down $600 and you were up $100, but you stayed in the trade, and now it's gone down $600, $600 is going to be missing from your bank. So basically the point is only trade when the market's right. And if the market turns for any reason, or set your stop loss so that if it turns around and starts to try to go down, you don't incur losses. And the way most professional traders do it is they average it out. If they do 10 trades and 8 of them are positive trades and make a profit, and they lose just a small margin on the 2 because of their stop losses, then they have a profitable day. But it doesn't take but one trade that goes crazy, like for me and Donnie, and then you're out a bunch of money.
Also, a catalyst will mess you up too.
Yeah. That's all. I just want to know how dangerous it can be. It's great if you know how to do it, but if you do it wrong, you could lose some money.
I have a other question. Can you employ
Push top, friend.
I had to finger down. Sorry about that. Can you employ strategies like Iron Condor, which is using mostly stocks in this, which would cover that kind of eventuality?
Never heard that term. Please explain.
If I'm correct with my terminology, it's a strategy which you kind of plan for both ways with 2 separate bags. So if it goes in one direction and it's not to your preferred direction, it doesn't trigger. But if it goes in your direction, then it goes the run of how it should. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So can you sell down and sell up? So
Yeah, it's kind of 2 separate bags in which if it goes up one way, great. But if it triggers in the wrong direction that you're not planning on, you can also capitalize on it, and the stop loss from the other would cut you.
Right. So the stop loss is going on this basic trade, on this basic smart trade. You're basically buying low, selling high. That's your basic trade deal, right? Um, Three Commas also has this program called Smart Cover. I'm not comfortable enough with this yet to give a class. Um, I'm still doing paper trades on this and learning how to do this successfully. Smart Cover is a way to short the coin so that you can buy, you're selling down and making profit with it, if that makes sense. I tell everybody to ask me about it. There is a YouTube video where the guy goes over it in good detail. I've watched the video probably 9 times so far and just going back and copycatting and trying to learn how to do it so that I can be completely comfortable, just like I am with the smart trade. The other cool thing about this system, let's say you already have a bunch of coins of something, you can come in here and do smart sale. So if you had a bunch of XLM or AMP or you know Doge or something, and you just wanted to sell some, you can go to smart sale and you put in at your bought price how many how many you want to use, and then you do your set take profit, and you're going to go through the same process that we just did earlier on taking profit with the coins that you already hold. So if you've got a bag that you're sitting on, you can come in here and do that.
All right, can you do me a favor and throw that link to that YouTube in one of the channels, please?
Yeah, it's just under 3 commas. If you Google 3 commas smart cover, if you just go on YouTube and type in 3 commas smart cover, it'll pull it dude right up.
Oh, okay, thank
The number 3 or spell out the word 3?
The number 3.
I just saw the screen when I said that.
Johnny, come on, man. I know you got something for me.
No, I've just been trying to. This is just a quick note. This is, of course, smart trade programs a little different because you're only dealing with like one or two trades. But if you get into grid bots and DCA, you have to keep in mind that all those transactions these bots do, even the smart trade, those are reportable events to the IRS, guys. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, taxable.
Also with that, this is true. Um, Also with those, if you're doing a running a grid or DCA, that make sure you pay attention to your grid and how wide it is, how narrow it is. Because if those bots run up and down, making those trades, the bigger the grid, the more buys and sales, and each one of those buys costs. There's a fee associated. So it's real important to know that you could be making money with those buys and sales, but at the same time you could be giving it right back with the in fees and all that stuff. Like Johnny said, that they're affordable. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and also, when I first started using bots some months ago, I kind of thought it was like, oh well, I'll just let this thing run. I don't have to be an active trader anymore. Well, that's not true. There's a common misconception that you can just plug a couple of things in and hit the button and you can go off and do whatever you want. Uh, I I don't think anybody in here that has any experience with any type of bots, whether it be Smart Trade or even Grid bots or DCA, would recommend that. And I think Donnie, you even covered that earlier. There is still some TA involved. You still have to trade. You still have to be involved. You really only want to run these when when the market indicates appropriately. You don't want to just plug some numbers in, hit the play button, and walk away. That's a good way to lose your money. So I mean, what this does is it makes it easier for you. takes the emotion out of it, and it executes trades for you, and it allows you a little bit of work-life balance. You don't have to stay up all night like me and Trill did last night.
Yes, sir.
You can go to bed, but still, there's still some research. There's still you still have to be you have to keep your fingers in the pot to a certain degree for these to be successful. I bet Donnie and Jack could probably elaborate on that a little bit. It's not a plug and play, fire and forget solution, and then you just start making money. That's not the way it works.
Well, I'll give you an example. With Bitsgap, um, I bought my way down with Doge. I got stuck in a bag in the 30s, and I used the grid bot to buy my way down because we were floating up and down, and it allowed me to buy my numbers all the way down. So that was great about it. Um, Actually, when it was all said and done, I had more coin and made $10 over the course of a week. Understand? I just said a week. I made $10. It's not all it's cracked up to be. To give you an idea, I took this was right here uh, about 2.5 weeks ago. Um, I bought ADA. I knew we were getting ready to go down, so I was like, all right, let's see how this works. I wanted to know how a grid bot worked financially. I took an even $1,000 and I put it in a grid on ADA. I knew with the dip that we were going to have that we would probably see $1. So I set my bottom buy, my last buy at $1. It was actually 101 was my last buy, and I started it at $1.32. It took almost 15 days to go all the way down, and
We lost you, Donnie.
y'all done. And then so it bought all the way down, and I waited on the market to come back around to sell at the back at. I actually sold at $1.34. I made $3.84. So what did I gain out of 14 days and a grid bot running to buy down and all the way back up? If I'd have just done the trade from $1.32 to $1.34 with the whole $1,000, I'd have made a hell of a lot more money.
Right.
That's where the smart trade comes into play. Once you get comfortable with making these moves and doing, heavier weight bags on 2% or 3% or 5%, whatever your game plan is for that coin, that's where you're going to make your money. That's where I love the smart trade. It gets you in, gets you out. You got to do your homework. You got to do your DD. Are we going up? Is this going to go up this far? This is where my projected path of it is. This is where I think I'm going to make profit. If you think you could pull 5%, great. If you think you could pull 10%, you could do a long trade. You could do a long swing trade on it. You set one of these up for 10, 12% and do a trailing stop loss just in case some catalyst comes along and trips you out. At least you're protected. That's that's the beauty of this program is you buy at your lowest point and you work your way up.
But there's still a certain amount of involvement that you have to have in it, right? It's not you just fire and forget.
Well, Tommy, can I let him look at my screen for just a sec?
Sure.
I was going to show him what I basically did last night, how I did it, and how I protected myself from disaster and was able to go to sleep and do it. And so basically, here's my
Yeah, you can mitigate a lot of your involvement with the appropriate configuration. So
yeah.
um,
Well, right.
that's what folks need to see. So this is good.
Well, see, here's the thing. You see, here's where we're at tonight. We're going downhill, basically, what I call it, downhill. That's not a good time. I couldn't have done what I did last night like this because we haven't learned that smart cover yet. You'd have to use it to win going down. But last night we were under a situation of a rising wedge. So all I knew, we were in a rising wedge, and I knew it was a long. I felt like it would be a long one. Let's say I started the trade down here, and then figured out how much percentage I wanted to try to go with it, and then so once I figured all that part out, you definitely have to do. You can't just sit there and start the thing and go. And you see, that you're trading into an uphill, a nice rising wedge. Then you go down here and start putting your formula in. What you do is, for me, I just do a market sale. And since it was already, going up, everything was going up last night, everything was green. So I said, okay, good. It's all green. It's going up. So I only used 1% so that if after the very next little dip it had, it would pull me into the trade. And I did trailing buy-in. So, and then I put what percentage of money I wanted to, 50% of my bag, say, that'd be just right at 1,000. Okay. And then I come over here to take profit, and I wanted to split it up into like 4 packages. So I wanted it to pick up 5% of it. After it goes up 5%, I wanted it to grab a bag. So I wanted it to pick up 25% of the bag right there and give me that. So I said, great, I'll set that. Then I went ahead and did 10% in case it was able to rise 10% more before my stop loss hit. Fine. Same thing. I give it another 25%. That's now when it gets, there, it's going to take another 25%. The final trade, I brought to 15% in case I really got lucky and it went way, way up all night. And I had to complete out the 100% because you want to finish the 100. And then you make that third. Okay, so now you're all set, 3 targets set, and then I started, trailing profit loss, profit for last target. So basically, when it went up, if it tried to close the trade but it was still going up, it would just keep going up until it finally started coming down. So I might get an extra percent just because I set that, But I cut my deviation down, to like, I think I had mine on 2, so it wouldn't deviate much. Donnie puts his on 1, Okay, now that's set nice. So then we go to set the stop loss. On that, I'm going to go back up to this other page we were just at, just to show you. You see it's on 4 right now. It's probably the last time I used it. I had it on that. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say, okay, let's say I'm starting right here, and I don't want to let it get more than, let's say I'm even starting right here because I saw it going up. So I said, I'm going to start right about here. So I set right here, and then okay. I don't want it to go any lower than that arrow right there, and that's 6.11%. If it happens to mess up after I start this trade and go down any lower than that, I want it to stop the damn thing and get me out of it, So now we know what percent I want to use. So now, and I'm going to set that at 6%. I'm also going to set this stop loss timeout because in case a wick comes down there and tries to ruin my trade, that will prevent that. And I'm going to back this off to about half of that. And I'm going to set on the trailing stop loss because that way it'll trail and won't allow something to happen. And that was it. And then I would create my trade, and it shows you what you got, how much money, the stop loss, everything about it, when you're going to take profit, and the trailing buy. And so now here's our trade. Now the way we set it up is in a second. As soon as this situates, it's going to go into a waiting period until it drops. And it also will stay there until it follows it down to its lowest point. Eventually, this will come up and show a little clock, and just like it's sitting. Let me check something.
Yeah, and anytime you going into, like, you got a wait period, when you set your gap, um, if you decide, what, I want to see what.
What I did wrong. I had it on conditional. I don't want that right now. I want it on market. So if it isn't on market, it's not gonna do right. And also, I need to reset my value. I need to do 25%. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to save those changes. Okay, now it's going to do what I asked it to do. Now here in a second, I'm going to let this set in for just a second. There's the money I wanted to use roughly. Hell, it's still not showing my clock, but it will in a second. But you
Once
can take my word for it.
once it initiates the trade, once it starts, once it gets to the point that it's going to initiate the trade, that's when your clock fires up.
Yeah, and so you'll see a little clock here, and it'll sit there until it finally picks up the trade. Looks like it's trying to now.
I wouldn't be going in that right now.
I'll pull right out immediately. Yeah, so you don't want to do this while the market's going down. You're going to guarantee to lose money, just like you're guaranteed to lose money if you do it when it's going up. And that's why you put your stop loss. So if it does turn around and start down, it stops you. And that way you don't lose anything. That is all. Okay, I've decided I don't want to do this trade, so I can cancel it right now. Or right now. And I'm not going to keep it open. I'm going to close it at See, I lost $6 just doing that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When it's going a down market, you're going to lose money if you mess around in a down market. Trade, it just doesn't know it yet. Closing at market price right now. See, I'm losing a couple more bucks. Well, maybe not. The point is, it's worth losing a couple bucks to show you the point I'm trying to say, and that is, in a down market, even for a couple of seconds of stupidity, you can lose $10 real quick. There it is. It's closed. $8.37 just to do that. That is all.
Thanks for your sacrifice, Jack.
Yes.
Thanks for
Well,
taking one
that
for the
way
team.
that way it's not perfect. If you mess up, you're going to lose money. That's why I play only with a little bit, and then once you get good at it, like me and Donnie now, we don't lose money because we don't put a trade in unless it's a good trade, and that's the hard part, learning how to pick when to do the trade.
I like what Adam says when we're looking at a chart or an investment in stock or crypto. We're looking for reasons not to make the trade, so that our bias doesn't, steer us in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Well, we've got all these great indicators. I mean, Jolt and his indicator. We got our trend lines. We got our pivot points. You know, so we know where our supports and our resistances are, and what this tool does is get us to be able to buy that much lower because we're saying, dang, if I'd have bought there, I could have made an extra 0.5%. Or I could have, if I'd have sold right there, I could have made an extra 0.5% up high, or I could have gained another 1.5%. That's what the smart trade program does. Is it a tool that you could do without? Yeah, you could go make trades without it. If you're a good trader, this just helps you be that much better. Um, Am I saying it's flawless? No. I'm not a fan of their trading view chart on here. I still run my trading view chart just because of my indicators and stuff that I got set up on my trading view that I use. Um, I, their chart lags and it's not as fast as what you have on trading view. But as far as being able to put you in position to make more money, I love it for that feature. And that's why I encourage people to use it. Is it a thing that you just set and forget? No, it's not going to keep making the same trade over and over and over all day. It's going to do one trade one time. That's it. That's that's the reality of it. If you're sitting there and not having to worry about it because you done your homework, you know about where it's going to buy, you know about where it's going to sell. You want to go hang out outside or something. It's going to send you an email as soon as the trade starts. It's going to send you another email as soon as it finishes.
So Donnie, real quick on the trailing buy, so it's gonna buy. It'll follow it down, and then whatever percent you put in, it's gonna buy when it goes up that percent you put in, right?
That's correct. Well, it'll go down and then back up.
Yeah, but it goes back up just the percent you set.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you said it's 1%, it'll follow it down. It won't It won't initiate the buy till you
Come back up.
until it goes up that percent.
Correct.
Donnie don't even give him that. He sets it for 0.2 something.
I'm greedy.
So is the trailing buy just a
Yeah, it's going to keep trailing it down. It doesn't stop trailing it down until it finally hits dead bottom. And when it finally hits that dead bottom, then it's going to, the reason I give it a little flexibility sometime, like a percent or two, because yeah, I'm losing a little profit at the bottom. But what if it goes down and then trips it and you're buying there and it comes up just a little bit and then it shoots back down even further? You've missed that further down because you didn't give it enough spring to spring past it.
And that comes into play on, do you know where the bottom is? That's knowing your resistance and your supports. So if you know where your support is, you could about bet on where it's going to buy in at. So that gives you an idea. That's why I run pivot points on my chart. Um, that's why I run the indicators that I run, because I about know I've drew enough lines on my trading view chart to know about where it should bounce.
And I like too how you can initiate it with a small percentage of your bag, and you can kind of feed it.
Exactly. You can always feed that monster. So if you see that the trade's going to go your way, even if you're buying a little bit higher from where you initiated the trade, you can go in and throw 50% of your bag at it or something like that, as it's coming up. So you got more profit once it goes up.
I had one trade made $1,000 that day with that coin. Several that made like 600, several 500. You do it right, it makes money. You do it wrong, you lose the hell out of some money. Don't you, Donnie?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Donnie, this is Trill. I have a question. I think I may know the answer to it, but I haven't really observed it long enough to see if that's what it does. Now, when we go in and so we initiated the trade, we're in the trade, we see it crossed over our previous high. So we're like, oh, I want to put some more money in. Now, when we add that, we throw more money in that pot, it does it or does it not pick up from the initial price point? Or does it pick up from the price point that you throwing it in at? Because I'm thinking it picks up from the price point that's throwing it in at. It's not going to catch the initial price point. But
Yep.
I do think that it's gonna when you put that money in, it's gonna follow all the parameters of that initial price point except the price. Is that correct?
It's going to, yeah, wherever, whatever price point that you're hitting it at, that's where it's going to throw the money at. That,
Yeah. Okay.
so if you
Just
were at,
want to clarify that.
yeah, so
So
if
I
you
don't
were
want
at,
people thinking that they're gonna put when they put their money in, they're throwing it right on top of that pot. It's in the pot. It's just at a different price point.
exactly. So
You
like,
you increasing your profit in the long run while you're in the trade is still profitable. But I don't want nobody saying, well, I put this in and I'm supposed to have this much, but I only got that. But you got to factor in that your price points are different, but you still increasing profit.
exactly. So like if you were on a 10% run and at 7% in, you decide to throw another $100 at it, you know, you're only going to get that 3% on the profit of what you threw in at that 7%, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. You only get the
What?
spread. You only get the spread from where you add to it, where you like basically feed it more
Correct.
funds
Exactly.
to grow, right? So you don't get the full spread from the original entry, but you can, yeah, you can build on from that percentage.
Correct.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know how
because it's going to market right where
Quick
you
question.
add funds.
Can you guys go over how the fees that come into part with doing a trade, so we have an idea?
Exchange, what your exchange charge is, you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that whenever it tells you whenever you buy, whenever you start to buy, it'll tell you about you're buying at this price with the fees in play for Coinbase Pro.
There's a lot of roboting.
I don't hear about
Me neither.
Am I roboting or not?
No.
So it's going to when you initiate the
You're
trade.
roboting terribly.
Well, everybody else says I'm fine.
Yeah, it might be on your. Sometimes I have to log out, log back in Discord if I get a. That happens to me sometimes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So the fees are figured in whenever you start the trade. It tells you um, what you're paying for your fees in the beginning.
And like if you were using Coinbase Pro, let's for example, whatever you pay when you pull money in and out or coin in and out of it normally, it's like the same thing except for the added fee of the 3 commas, I guess. Right?
Yeah. I've heard that Coinbase Pro has the best fee structure, is what others have said. I don't know about Kraken, but
It's Coinbase Pro's a hell of a lot better than Coinbase. Coinbase Pro is 0.5. Kraken is probably one of the lower. I can tell you
0.1.
0.1.
Well,
Yeah, 0.1, and then 0.2, and it's variable depending on your trading volume. So that's what I used. I used Kraken Donnie and I are infamous Kraken fanboys.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I appreciate everybody giving their experience of each, because some are better than others, obviously. Robin Hood, if it gets beat up the most, but it's not relevant here.
Fees are a fact of life, but you figure like this. Like yesterday, I probably did about $600-700 plus the 200 I made when I went to bed. So that's that pays for the fees and gives me a profit. And as long as you're making money, and paying your fees and still making money, you're making money. If you're losing money, then you're losing money. I mean,
You
But
lose.
it's important to note that and Donnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the other platforms, the fees were included, correct? They're included in this as well.
Yes, they are included. When you start that trade, the fees are included.
Yeah, so you don't have to mess with any of that. It's already included.
It's like they already put it into the transaction.
Correct.
Yeah. So when you
the fee is 25% commission on the transaction itself. So however big your bag is, it's 25%. What that money is 0.25. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like 25%.
Yeah.
Well, actually, whatever it shows you as profit when you're done, you get because they've already taken their fee. They take their fee first, absolutely first. They take their fee right off the bat, both of them. Coinbase, any of them. They take their fee, and what you get left is what you got left because they take their fee.
And this kind
How does Three Thomas make their money? Do they take something up?
I would assume so.
That's what I'm saying. This is 3 commas. So speaking directly about 3 commas. 3 commas commission is 0.25% of the transaction amount charged for each smart buy or smart sale created. I'm reading this.
There you go.
And this kind of goes back to what Trill was saying earlier, is that you want to make sure, no, not so much with smart trade, but with your DCA bots and your grid bots, you want to make sure that your grid levels are far enough apart that you can make profit to offset the fees. Because if they're really close together and you're doing a lot more trades at a smaller increment, then you will get nickel and dime to death.
Yeah, the fees, right? They'll just eat up your profit.
Yep.
That's why I like the simple smart trade that me and Donnie have been using. It only works when you're going up, going up the hill.
That's pretty nice.
I like that.
And of course, he's going to figure out the other one. We will eventually, but for now, that's what it is. And I mean, as long as you play it safe, it makes you money almost every time. Donnie had what, like 30 or so trades in a row. He made money every single time.
Yeah, I was 34 for 34, and I was showing everybody. I streamed it so everybody could see that I wasn't lying. Every trade was green. Every single trade was green. Um, but I was sitting there doing my homework and doing what I was supposed to do. And am I still streaming now? I know I'm still on YouTube.
Yeah.
On my screen,
Yeah.
you can see that first paper trade. That first paper trade I done, stop lost out. So it went down that 2.28%, and it lost $43, but it stopped lost out on those. My XLN trade, however, though, I'm in the profit. I'm making $1.95 so far on that.
Could I ask what a grid and DCA are?
So a dollar cost average bot, that's what DCA stands for, dollar cost average. Johnny's gonna have to help me here. So the homework that I've done on DCA bots is they can run off of indicators. They can run, there's different ways to set up a DCA bot, and you can set up your buys and sales accordingly to those indicators. And you can set how many buys and sales you want to do. From the homework that I've done on it, the people that make the most money have the least amount of trades, but the most money in those bags off of those couple of trades. So if you go look at a DCA bot that's already won, real big, if you go open it, you'll notice that they've only done one trade. or two trades. That's all they've done, and it's got this high percentage win because they bought off of the bottom and sold at the top, and it's a way to set parameters to build it very custom for dollar cost average. Um, the grid bots, you're basically setting grids of where you want to buy. Like if you look at my screen right now, you see I've got all these pivot points. Just imagine that was a buy, that was a buy, that was a buy, but this is a sale, this is a sale. So as the price goes down, it's going to buy, and as the price goes up, those are going to turn into sell points. And as the price comes up, you sell, sell, sell. And then if the price goes out of that grid, you're not doing anything. The bot's not doing anything. But the other way around, if the bot goes out the grid at the bottom, if your price goes past the grid at the bottom, you bought all the way down. So now you're stuck waiting on it to come back up to get you back in the green because you spent all that money buying all the way down, and you've got to wait on it to come back up to go to sell all the way back through it to recoup your money. Does that help?
Yes, and those are your grid lines goes by, not a formula or.
Well, they do have on the grid bots. I'll pull it up. You see there on my, are you looking at my screen? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, I am.
All right. So this is an AI strategy. This is just something that they've got loaded in. This is AI. This is using, their stuff. If you go into the marketplace of um, three commas, they've got all sorts of different setups and stuff. Um, you go over to manual strategy, and you can set your upper price and your lower price. Let's do something.
So what he's doing is he's setting his range. It's the range in which the bot will operate, and then your very top. So let's say the top of the grid range is 26 cents. The bottom, let's say, is 22 cents. Your bot will buy and sell in that range based on the grid lines in that range, and you can control those grid lines by percentage. That's what he's doing right now. See, it'll adjust as he enters in the appropriate settings between. So each grid line is in a down market a buy and an up market a sell. So it buys on the way down. So you're hanging little bags based on whatever settings you have. You're hanging bags on each one of those grid lines. And then if it starts to come back up, it'll sell those bags on the way back up and you'll get profit. There's other options in all these platforms that allow for a trailing stop loss, uh, trailing take profit. There's a lot of settings on there. So what I did is I only enabled trailing take profit. So that way, if it went up the top of my grid range and kept going, then it would adjust appropriately and then it would keep selling. But I did not enable the trailing stop loss. And so anytime the market fell out the bottom of my grid range, the bot would just stop and it would freeze and not do anything until the market came back up within its range.
And was that a profitable strategy? Did it keep the bot from making, bad where you're in a loss?
Well, the thing about it is that I didn't use big ranges.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that.
So that way I didn't really need the trailing stop loss because I didn't use a lot of it. Kind of what Trill was saying earlier. So that mitigated a lot of losses. So whenever the market dropped out the bottom, then the bot would just it would say pending, and it would sit there, and then it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, so then you missed out on tips that are below you.
Yeah, and that's the downside of it. You're exactly right. But I still had my bags that it bought on the way down to get
Sure.
Yeah, and then when it came back up, the bot would go active again and then sell them within its range.
So am I understanding correctly the grid parameters, for lack of a better analogy, kind of like giving a leash of how far, the parameters of the AI will
Exactly.
trade it?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. So if you give it a longer leash, your risk versus reward could be jeopardized.
Well, so
goes out of range, and you're not watching it.
So basically, typically what happens is that the more grid lines you have, the more buys and sells, right? So the more potential for profit based on the amount of money you put on the buy, right? The downside of that is that you incur more fees.
Right.
You're trading and buying more.
Yeah.
But then on the other side is that if you have fewer grids, then you have fewer buys and sells. You make less money, right? But you have less fees. So there's pros and cons either way.
Yeah. Kind of weigh out like penny wise, dollar dumb. It's like be sure you're not throwing away money to make money, and it be not as big of spread.
And I will tell you right now, this smart trade is pretty exciting because in my experience with grid bots, you're not going to make any decent profits really unless you're going to throw more than $1,000 on it. Because kind of like what Donnie was saying earlier, when I started on grid bots, I was throwing 250, 500, and it would run all day, and I'd maybe make $5.
Right.
So my experience was I didn't really start making money on those grid bots until I was able to throw $5,000 to $10,000 on them.
Right.
At that point, it's like, well, why even bother? I can just swing trade that and for less trouble.
That's what I'm thinking is that if you want to accumulate a coin, that the grid bot, setting it for the buying trailing buys.
Yeah, you
can increase your percentage to lessen the amount of trading.
Yes, you can. But in my experience, I really only made money using grid bots in an active market. Some platforms have bots that are specialized to micro scalp in a sideways market, but I didn't have a lot of profit success with them. So a typical grid bot would really only be profitable in a bearish or bullish active market. That's what's kind of cool about the smart trade. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I think your potential for profit is a lot better and more profit than your typical grid bot if you don't have $5,000 to throw at it.
I agree. That's what I see the potential, but I see the value in if you didn't really care about profit as much as accumulation of a particular coin that you wanted to have long term, so I see that as useful for that part of
that's where the DCA bots came in, like Crypto Hopper. It was you had to pay for the premium subscription, and then it unlocked the AI bot, and in that AI bot you had a DCA option where you would plug in a certain amount of your bag as a reserve, and that's the reserve that the bot would use if it detected a DCA opportunity, and it would use money from that reserve to either 2x it or 4x it, and then you can make a lot of money. I made decent funds doing that. Problem is, it's hella risky. You can lose your ass really quickly. I would never recommend DCA bots to somebody just getting into this. And in fact, now that I know about this smart trade, I would totally recommend the smart trade for any beginners in any type of automated trading at all.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's what I felt led to start is with that feature on this platform. So thanks for sharing your experience.
I think I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
I got a tear running down my cheek, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, you stuck one on me, but hey, you got in here, you figured, and you listened a little bit, so you have to change your heart. Because Johnny wasn't with it, but hey, it's when you learn it, you understand it, you know. Now we're gonna try it out tonight, huh?
Okay, I'll be the first to admit I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued, but maybe next tax year, I've got to pay taxes on 7,000 transactions this year, so I'm kind of chilling on the bots.
I could tell you a little secret what I talked to my CPA about the other day, because we're not in YouTube, so I could say this. So these Coinbase cards and stuff are going to help us a lot because they're considered losses because we're paying our bills with them.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna start paying my rent.
I do.
Pay everything, car payments,
insurance.
There's something else y'all guys hadn't considered too, and that is that if you only run money, if you say you have one bank you deal with, and the money that goes in and out of your bank, that's the only place you have to take money in and out of, right? So anything you take in and out of Coinbase, say if that was your only place that you do business, there's an accounting for that at the bank, which means whether you're taking profits from crypto or not, like in my case, where I'm a DBA, not a corporation. So everything I make, any profit I make in my business is I have to pay tax on every bit of it, no matter what it is, you know, and the only way I don't pay tax is if I can show a loss or, you know, that I just didn't make it. So that way, you know, your trades and your take what you take out of your crypto is going through your bank. So it's very easy to show through your bank records what you've actually spent, what you've actually profited, and what you haven't.
Well, see, Jack, that from what I was just saying, if you
I think you're on YouTube. Just so you know, I think you are on YouTube. I would double.
Yeah, we're on it. I think too.
Well, I mean, you know, as long as you pay what you owe, as long as you pay your taxes, you're fine.
I know. I just didn't want Johnny to say anything thinking that we weren't on YouTube. That he doesn't want on YouTube.
I knew we were. That's why I was.
Okay. Well,
when did that
he
switch?
was CPA. I mean, that's all, and he's trying to do the right thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You can claim up to 3,000 losses per year, and then it'll roll over. But and I don't mean to be an advertiser for CoinTracker, but it saved my ass. CoinTracker did. I'll tell you that right now. So you know.
Yeah.
Sounds
Do you have to have that ahead of time, or can you even get it at the end of the year and it'll still work?
What do you mean?
Well, do you like if we're trading now? Does it have to be tracking everything now, or can we download a file to or something later?
Yeah, you can get a CSV from your exchanges, but here's the problem with that: is that exchanges are not legally bound to provide you enough information to pay your taxes. That's required by the IRS. So, and on top of that, if you do any exchange to exchange transfers, then basically, as far as that exchange is concerned, it no longer exists. You know, from where you sent it from. So, it's in my experience, CSVs that are exported tend to lack quite a bit. And also, Robinhood stopped doing CSVs, and they do PDFs now. So I recommend, especially if you're going to run bots. Now, if you're just swing trading or trading, you're not going to have 7,000 transactions in a tax year. But if you're using bots and you're trading every day, then something like CoinTracker, where you have a single pane of glass that plugs into your exchanges through API and basically pulls in all your transactions and automatically categorizes them as taxable events or not, and adds up your losses and your gains, does all that for you, for a flat fee, depending on how many transactions you have, and includes a single pane of glass portfolio management, and for $14 a month, it's kind of hard to beat that. I mean, I don't even log into my exchanges anymore if unless I'm gonna trade. I just want to spot check price and see what's going on with the market. I'll just pop open CoinTracker, and there everything is. All of my assets on every exchange is there. If they're up, if they're down, all my mining profits are automatically categorized because mining profits are taxed differently than crypto. They're considered income. So, as convoluted as our government has currently made taxes regarding cryptocurrency, I figure why not?
Hey, this is Trey. Real quick, someone, real quick. Hey, we're not on YouTube. I know it says YouTube Live. We're down in a different channel. So I just went double check, but we're not on
No, I
YouTube.
know Donnie.
Donnie is streaming on live.
He has the
I'm streaming online.
no Donnie.
Oh.
Donnie. But can I ask you, Johnny? Would I be able to utilize the coin tracker if I've been trading on Robinhood? Because I am going to have thousands.
No. You would have to do what I did and go and export to PDF and manually enter those trades in CoinTracker.
Ooh.
But once you do, well, and see, I left Robinhood, so
Yeah.
I don't have a lot. So
I'll have a taxable event.
Yeah. So I had 25 taxable events. So it took me about an hour, and I went through my PDFs, and I manually created those transactions in CoinTracker. But for somebody who's used it as their main trading platform for how many ever months or even a year, then yeah, your best bet at that point, what I would do is you can still use CoinTracker for your other exchanges, then export PDFs from Robinhood, and then just give those to your CPA.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can take the I think they're 89, 84 forms IRS gives for crypto or for capital gains. So CoinTracker will go ahead and do all those for you, get all those filled out, so your CPA doesn't have to. But so all they'll have to do at that point is then audit in your Robinhood manually.
Yeah.
Or if, like me, if you're lucky enough to have an accountant, you just give them access to your bank and to all your exchanges and tell them, have at it.
And you can do that with CoinTracker too. You can share your CoinTracker account with a CPA, so they can log into it and have access to that as well.
Will it give you your losses, current losses?
It will, yeah. It'll give you
Sweet.
It'll give you losses for the day, gains for the day, losses and gains for the week, for 6 months, for a year, and it'll keep, because it's pulling transaction logs directly from your exchanges. So, and it does it through API. So it's almost real time once you get it set up. And it'll give you an overall kind of 1,000-foot view of your overall gains and losses for each coin ever.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop.
It's a single pane of glass. Yeah. So that's the portfolio management portion of it, and I got the basics, like $14 a month, and then it goes ahead and pulls everything in, and then once a year, based on how many transactions you have, you pay a flat fee, and they'll go ahead and generate your tax forms and stuff for you based on your portfolio management.
Awesome. Do you have a referral code?
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, attaboy, Johnny.
Great. Oh yeah, you can just throw it in.
So the reason I was
Thank
saying
you.
about
That's great information.
yeah, great information, Johnny. The reason I was saying that about YouTube, this is my personal stream. I don't care. What they gonna smack me on the hand for something I don't get paid for anyway? I don't care. But
I just didn't know if you were going to say something. I just wanted to say, because you had said that you weren't on YouTube, and that's the only reason I said it. I just wanted to warn you. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize. I misunderstood. I thought you was referring to Tame's YouTube, and I know that we're not on his channel at YouTube. this channel anymore. So I just want to clarify that if anybody got,
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I thought, damn, Tane shifted it again. I'll be damned. But I'm on my YouTube, so I don't care if we, the CPA talk. The cool thing about it was with what Jack was saying with going back in and forth out of the bank. Um, what I've been able to do is pull money in. I've never moved any money out. I'm using my Coinbase card for everything. If I can't pay with my card, I use my iPhone or my watch, and I pay with Apple Pay. Pretty much everything I've done has been transactions through my Coinbase card, one way or another. Even if I've got to go buy one of those preloaded visas at Walgreens, which I still get 4% back on when I load it, and then use that to make a payment on something.
Yeah, and it was Donnie who turned me on to the Coinbase card, and I've been using it for about 2 weeks. Um, and it's a debit card, and if you use USDC from Coinbase, there's no fees because USDC is Coinbase's stablecoin. So, um, but if you can also pay using other cryptocurrencies. But if you do that, you'll incur a fee because they have to convert it. So I just use USDC, and every paycheck I just dump I ACH money to Coinbase and buy USDC. The downside of that is you have to wait 5 to 6 days, which you would normally if you send money through ACH to Coinbase or Coinbase Pro. So I haven't found a way around that unless you move funds from another exchange like Donnie does. You can move funds from another exchange to Coinbase, and then you can do that. But then you can use it instantly. But I found that the very first time I went to go use my Coinbase card, I got paid and ACH'd a couple $100 up to it, and it showed pending. But it wouldn't let me use it. It wouldn't show up on my card until it passed that post time period. So it's not like when you send it up to use for crypto, where it'll stay on the exchange for 6 days or so, but you can trade it. That's not the case with the card if you want to use USDC. So just keep that in mind.
And another
So you
thing
have to
I learned.
transfer funds into USDC and US, sorry, and then utilize your Coinbase card that way through. So it's not linked to your bank account like a debit card. Other places like Target have. So you have to actually move funds onto Coinbase platform.
I've got I use 3 exchanges, and I've only one place where I have uh, my checking account linked. And
Okay.
that checking account is CB Pro, which is CB, and I have a separate checking account just for crypto transactions. So it's always empty unless I'm receiving or sending a fiat to Coinbase. And when you do an ACH from your bank to Coinbase, there's that 5 or 6 day wait period. Well, if you can trade with that, right, instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're sending fiat up to buy USDC for your Coinbase card, you don't want to trade that because you want to use it to buy shit. So um, you're keep that in mind. So you won't be able to use that USDC or that money. You can go ahead and buy USDC, but you won't be able to use it on your Coinbase card until that fiat has actually served out its pending period. Yeah.
If you were in a hurry, if you're in a hurry to use it, if you're in a hurry to use it, all you have to do is what I found out, Johnny, is do that debit card. Do your debit card or bank card, and just charge it to that instead of doing the ACH.
Yeah. There'll be a fee, but you'll have it immediately available.
Exactly.
So
you pay the fee, but you got the money immediately.
So if I buy it through the Coinbase card,
no, so like if you go on there on the Coinbase and you use your debit card from your bank to buy the USDC, it's available immediately. Say you need
Yeah, it won't let me do that. My
my
bank will not allow that.
mine does it where I go on if I ACH it, then I've got to wait. But if I buy directly from my card, then it's a matter of fact. I done it the other day. Um, I was down to like $380 on the USDC. I was like, shit.
Yeah, my bank does not allow transactions for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I had trouble with my bank as well.
What you
It
they
wouldn't.
do the free transfers, so just do the USDT and then transfer it to USDC, or they won't let you do that.
Now, any transaction um, to any exchange is classified as cryptocurrency, and my bank will not allow those transactions. So I have to ACH fiat into uh, the matrix, so to speak, before I can use it. So what I've been doing is, here's what I've been doing is I've been using my profits from mining and all my dry powder. I just been, every week shooting 200, $250 or $500 to it from those exchanges, right? And then starting the ACH transfer. And then as soon as it shows up, I would repay myself.
There you go. That's a good
That's what
move.
I've been doing.
Good move. There's all.
Hey, this is Trill. I have another thing
Oh,
too mention about three commas. Okay, so I know a lot of us are use trade up with futures and margin and optional options. So with that, when you if you have three commas and you go to the My Exchange tab, it'll tell you, give you a list of exchanges that three commas at this point accepts on their platform. The only exchange that they accept that offers spot, futures, and margins is Binance, not Binance US, Binance. FTX offers spot and futures. Bybit offers futures, but not spot. BitMEX offers futures. Um, Bit offers options, and most all of the other exchanges that we most commonly use should only offer spot. So before you try to connect your exchange with this, just go in and double check to make sure the platform that you're using is supported by three commas, because you don't want to be all upset about all of that stuff, kind of stuff. So that's really important. But it'll tell you exactly which ones that they support, and it'll also tell you what features that on that exchange supports. Like for instance, KuCoin is on here, but KuCoin they don't support futures through here. So this is something to look out for and understand that.
Thank you. Kind of depends on what you plan for your strategy, what you want to do.
So who is asking for the referral for coin?
I was asking Grateful Dead.
Okay, I'll shoot it to you.
Thank you. And I'll do the shameless plug, Donnie, because I want everybody to know. Donnie has this XLM wallet and Doge wallet. Give Donnie some love for, shopping. And I know I don't have my wallet back yet. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Donnie and Jack, thank you guys. Much appreciated. This is great. This is how we make money, folks. This stuff right here.
Energy, yeah. Power in numbers.
Well, Johnny, I mean, it's people like a community like this. All of us together, combined. That's how we work together, and we learn stuff and we teach each other stuff. And I mean, this whole conversation, started at 5 after 8 tonight, and we've been through a little bit of everything in 2 hours. Um, and I'm hoping that if anybody has questions, they speak up or shoot me a message, or if you see my YouTube link, I posted it in random non-general. I'm going to leave that video up even after I end the stream, so people could go back and watch it again, because it'll wind up posting to my wall. So all I want to do is say thank you to all of you, because without the support and dedication from this community, Trill, He's been right there with me since day one, I believe.
Yes, sir. Because what's one thing about it is that we here to make money. And I appreciate y'all all too.
Well, I'll tell my life experiences. My father joined for a very, very large fee a day trading group many years ago, and so this is such a beautiful.
It's important, to do that. And you having issues with trying to get something linked up. I've helped out a couple of people in the last couple of days get, the APIs and stuff set up. I'm not a big fan of looking at screens while doing that because I don't want any information that don't need to be seen saw. But I'll try to walk you through it, even if it's an exchange that I'm not familiar with. I'll still try to walk you through it because it's always just one little thing that could just not let your exchange connect. So hit me up. I'm here most of the time, just like most of us are. So we just here to help everybody out, learn, and make this money. That's what it's about.
What's
Yes,
your
sir.
name again? So I remember for the future.
Trill, TREAL.
Thank you. And I'm grateful.
T real.
That's right. I mean, me and
Got
Jack,
that right.
I pulled Jack in, man. I pulled Jack in because Jack was, me and him, we went together on KuCoin Futures, and I was like, Jack, you got to see this, man. You got to see how this works. This is cool as hell. And man, me and Jack, we kind of worked together on it back and forth, and throwing ideas off on, what numbers to put in, and um, Big Baller, he hit it. I was, I was working and wasn't paying attention, and he over there making $1,000 on a swing. I'm like, shit.
Well, I have to say I bragged to my family members about different ones that do better taught me. So that's it. I'm grateful. I know it sounds cheesy, but I found this group, and hopefully someday I'll be able to pass on all I'm learning, repeat and rinse and repeat.
Hey Donnie, did you catch that dip on Kava, dude?
No,
Oh, I did.
I'm
Does
telling you,
anyone want to know about ACH? It's looking like it's up
Well,
for
I know
very
last night. Well, I'll say earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Me and Johnny right there. Whew, we were up for uh, about a good bit of 5 hours. We scalped, that big push, that not the initial one, but the second big push up. We scalped the shit out of it, and every single every single candle, we had resistance. Every single one. We sat there and watched it like we watching the last 5 seconds of the football game.
I'm looking at the candlesticks right now. 15 minutes.
Every single one had resistance.
There.
I'm talking about we've seen borrowers or sellers coming in at 2 million, 3 million, and they was fighting through. And
yeah, there was a couple of them where some of these dudes, some of these whales, I guess they were waking up over in Europe, were dropping 8 million coin sell orders that were getting demolished in like 5 seconds. It was crazy.
Well, Turkey is one of the main or a big country that's trading ACH.
I mean, they were lining up. They was lining up trying not to keep that. They were trying to keep that price down, but they was fighting through it.
I mean, and just as quickly that the buying pressure this morning was so strong. I mean, it was steamrolling these whales, but just that quick, it turned around. I mean, huge red candle, and we barely had time to get out of our trade.
Yeah, we barely got out, barely, and it got up there just enough to make a higher high. That's why this morning when it had dipped so low, it made a run, and it had dipped to go back to retest, and it was trying to make its way back up, and I was like, I hope they get it, and it got a tweezer top, and it slumped back down.
I mean, in the time it took me to type in my sell order, it dropped like a half a cent. Oh God.
I can imagine. But isn't the market cap pretty impressive for isn't it a newer coin? I think in the billions, right? The market cap.
Let me look.
I think it's pretty impressive.
I'm like that.
am
said,
too.
actually, it's not really a bag. I'm in a trade on 3 commas with it, so I'm just watching it. I bought in at like, what is it, 10? No, 13. I'm just into 13. 12, 9, 243, and I'm just letting it sit there because I think it's going to be a good 20, even if, and I don't want to lose any money, so.
I'm just very fascinated with all that. Solutions.
Well, I'm stuck at 16,894, so come get me.
Ow.
We on the way. I will let y'all know because we went through it last night. There is going to be some resistance at 11.9, and it's going to be some resistance at 12.33. 33. Well, I'm sorry. That's the new.
Trill, you not running the smart trade on it?
Yeah, that's what I ran last night. I ran smart trade on it.
Just,
But the resistance that we fought through last night was crazy.
all right, so
11.9 is going to be a tough one, and 11.6 and 11.9.
yeah, I see that 12.3 right there.
Yeah, 11.6.
Yeah, I got a pivot point at 11.7,922. What I was doing, whenever it's going up and going parabolic and doing those 3 candles that are like 2% each, I was setting it at like 6% and giving it 2.5% breathing room. And then once it got up to the top, I'd go in and hit edit, and I'd pull my breathing room down to like 0.25. And that way it wouldn't retrace on me.
Yeah, it was it was a long night. It was a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
But I was like,
I think it started around 2 o'clock or so.
it was about 3. It's about it's about 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and the football game probably ended around 6 o'clock in the morning.
I felt like that was a whole 8-hour shift. Seemed like to me.
But it's a beautiful retracement. I mean, what it did with the parabolic move up and then do this retracement and to go where it's at right now. I'm not worried about that bag. I mean, will it take a few days to get there? Yeah, probably. But I think it's very possible for this coin to run.
If we get over 11.6 and get to a high get over 12.33, I think we're gonna be. I think we shouldn't see no more resistance.
14.8.542.
Yeah, we may catch a little bit at 13, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I might take the field at 10 cents if it gets down there.
I have to go to my trading view.
Yeah.
If it dips down to 10 cents, might be time to play, man. Time.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? If it hits the field anywhere between 8.7 and 12.30. I don't know. Right now they're up 4.6%.
I agree with the premise of what the project is. That we need a either or solution, fiat or crypto.
Isn't this one? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
isn't this one that, thank you, it's had a longer history on another platform and it's got really good views, right? That's why I got into it too. I didn't make any money on it.
Yeah, I'm not in the process of it either, but I didn't spend a ton of time researching it, but from what I read, um, that's doable. Chemical said that a YouTuber was talking about it, and the CEO somehow got on the YouTube feed and was talking about their use case. I don't know what.
Well, Elon Musk also gets on there too, so who knows?
No. I'm not giving it validity for that purpose. I'm not saying I'm not somebody who trusts just somebody's word, but I see the need for that kind of a solution. Like I used to work.
Johnny, we got a mess. It looks like it's it might go down to 10,259. But that this area that it's in right now, we got. If you look at the Jolts indicator, it's just well, you got 1, 2 going up, 3, 2. You got a mess. It's like a bomb about to go off. It can't make up its mind because you got 3 going up and 3 coming down. So it's.
I think I might set my entry points at 10 cents flat at 10,000. See what happens. Same play last night, Trill.
Yes, sir. I'm right there. I'm looking at it too. I'm trying to see where I want to. But this the RS the stocks is everywhere. I'm trying to see what. Yeah.
I think if we can hold above 0.1023, there might be a chance.
That 1 hour cools off and gets to the bottom, and that your 30 minute.
That's what I'm on.
If you get that 1 hour to the bottom, the 30 minute to the bottom, and then once that 15 and that 5 come down, and then the next time that 1 minute comes down, you're going for a ride. But you're looking at probably 8 hours out.
Yeah, because the 4 hours bottom feeding right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're probably 4 hours out before it does anything.
All right, Trill, I'm set.
That sounds like perfect time to me.
I'm cocked and loaded. 10,000 at 10 cents.
I think we should look up what time. I'm gonna look it up right now. Turkey.
It's coming down fast.
So it's safe for a ride in what direction? Down? Roller coaster? So if they're low, then it should go up, right?
See if it'll pick me up at 10 cents. I think based on it's been at or hovering around 10 cents for 2 days.
You've been drinking?
Who, me?
10 cents?
Yeah.
That's a bit optimistic.
Well, it's right there at it. What are you talking about?
He's talking about ACH.
I'm talking about ACH.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Man, I was gonna say, I thought, I know what the hell this. I'm like, what are you looking at?
Hey, I just want to let you guys know, Turkey, just because that seems to be a large region trading morning, it's 5:09 a.m. Monday morning in Turkey right now. Istanbul.
So 4 hours away.
Donnie, I set up a little cover trade, just a little small amount, just to try it out. So I'm gonna play with that a little bit, see if I can't figure out how to catch money on the way down too.
I'm gonna put up my trailing percentage. I think I'm gonna expand it just a little bit more because for some reason this coin like to have some long wicks. I'm gonna see if I get caught with one of them.
Well, right there, that one green candle was 2.73%.
We'll see what happens.
That's all you can do, brother.
Well, that's how we learn, isn't it?
Yeah. But like that right there, man, that's awesome. 2.73%, man. That's crazy. That's good money.
Yes, it is.
See, Johnny, this way I was playing it the other morning. I was doing, 2.5% rips on ACH that morning when it was doing all these little candles like this. I was just setting 2.5% rips with a 0.15 retracement and doing a 0.25 on trailing buy. That way, when it went down, as soon as it started back up, it would buy and shoot up. I mean, I was closing as fast as I could open them.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty quick, man.
You ought to seen what it did the other day when it had me down. Oh, I guess about 800, probably 750. If I'd been smart, I'd have got out right then. I decided to say, well, it may come back. Wrong move.
Well, yesterday morning is when I actually jumped into ACH at 9.8 or something like that, and it was hovering there, and then it just took a massive dump. And so I was sitting there waiting all day for it to come back and pick me up, and then so I was just sitting there waiting with my thumb out, And then what's bad is like Trog and DK and Cleo and the guys, they were scalping down in the eights, making lots, making good money. And I'm sitting here with this huge ass bag with my thumb out at 10, 9.9. And finally, around 2 o'clock, uh, when Trill jumped in with me, it picked us up and carried us on up. But that took 5 hours.
Yeah, I should have waited. I told Donnie I could have waited it out. I'm kind of impatient. And I said, the hell with it. I'm just going to take the lesson.
I put everything was going up yesterday, so I put money an order in yesterday morning too for a little under 13. Like I said, and yep, everything went down and it never came back up to where I am. So
Yeah, even
learned.
I was still up like 5K, so it wasn't quite so bad that way. But I'd sure like to kept that other last money.
Yeah, me too.
Well, how long have you been doing it, Jack?
Oh, about 2 months now, maybe, or a month and a half. I don't know.
See, your profitability pretty good so far, right?
Well, when I mess up big. But other than that,
I know.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but is if you're staying in that 70%, 75% profit, that's what my target is. If I blow it on 20 or 20, I don't want to have
Any deal you can get out of with a profit is a good deal. Sometimes you get more, sometimes a little less, but as long as you can make sure you do your homework and do it right, don't ever rush a trade. Say, I need money, so I'm gonna sit down here and I'm gonna force a trade. That's the fastest way to get hurt.
Oh, I've learned.
Isn't that right,
It's
John?
way better to enter at the right rate.
Once you learn that, you learn to start watching these charts and listening to others smarter than themselves, and you can, get by without having so much risk.
Yeah, I've been doing this about a year and a half, and I still have some oopsies on occasion. So
Yeah, like I'm sitting here yesterday. I could have sold for a pretty decent profit, but I have some losses that I can use for taxes, so I didn't want to create taxes on that. And then we're not pulled out for I'm gonna cash out over to another platform. So anyway, I'm feeling it today.
Yeah, I bailed on Robinhood 2 weeks ago. And
Yeah,
what's crappy is I planned on doing it this weekend, but I ended up doing it last weekend. I got into a bottle of Maker's Mark, and so I jumped out. I had 25,000 Doge at 5 cents. I jumped out at 21.25, and some of you may know the story. So I'm trying to limit sell out of Robinhood. So I set my limit sells, and I literally watched the market go right past them. They never even executed.
yeah, me too.
Did that 4 times,
Me
and then
too.
it started to crash. So I said another one, and it went right past it. I had to market sell out of that. Oh, I was so cheesed. I was so pissed. So I sent that money to my bank. It showed up. Then I turned around and sent it back to Coinbase Pro, and I was going to come back into Doge at 18 cents, and then take the profit and go send it over to my tech stocks. But then it never got back down to 18. So I'm thinking, then this surge hit. So then I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with Doge. I think I'm going to take this money and send it over to Kava and ADA and Matic, and kind of level top off those, and Dot, got some more Dot, got some more AMP, went in, been scalping ACH with it. So, I'm cool. I think I'm done with Doge.
Like, yeah. But I have a similar moment that I invested in Mara in April, and anyway, dip. I mean, when it dipped, I just got sick of looking at it. I was just so pissed one day. It was literally, I think, the Wyckoff method like hit me. Like I hit that threshold, and I was just like, I'm done. And I took a loss, and it was too tragic, but
Yeah, it's like with Doge. My ultimate plan was to take profit at $1. That was kind of the ultimate goal. And I was thinking, if I take all this money and I put it back into Doge just to get to $1, well, that could be next year. And by then, a lot of these blockchain foundation coins, Cardano, Polygon, they could be at that point, $10, $15, $30 pop. So I'm saying, and so for what? What do I gain out of? I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into some of these more foundational coins now. That way I can get it. I'd rather get it early on them than Doge.
Well, I mean, it's
yeah,
like
I have like 90% of the
you look at Kava, who's making you 20% in interest.
Yep, and I did. I just did on the dip just now.
So when,
cool.
when you stack Kava in your pocket at 20% interest, right? And then say you're not in Kraken, say you're in Coinbase, and you buy Atom at $12, $13. Atom is a $35, $40 coin, and you're
Yep,
staking it for 6%. It's a
yep.
win-win.
Same thing with Dot. I was able to get in Dot when it was $10.66. That's a normally a $25 coin, and it's 12% staking rewards on Kraken. So I was just like, man, and Dot's a foundation coin too. So that's what I'm investing in. We're trying to invest in coins that have their own blockchains, that have their own projects. Um, I think that at some point there's going to be a exodus of all these tokens at some point. So I'm trying to get out of tokens and go into tier one coins.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, is this money really working effectively right now? How long is it going to take to produce a profit? That's kind of where I got with tomorrow. I was like, I am done. Like, I had lost what I had lost, and I didn't want to look at it. But that's something that probably wasn't like my best move. But I moved into another riot, which had pretty much just higher. So I was pretty just like, but I hear you because I feel like over this last couple months, I'm like, geez, I'm making money right now.
It wants to come down and pick me up. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know too, but I think we probably need to hold off on that right now because
Think
if it
so?
comes down, no, if it comes down, it looks like an inverted cup and handle,
Yeah.
and
On
I don't
what?
on HAC. I'm looking at the 5 minute. 5 minutes. If it comes down and snatch us up, we're gonna keep going down with it.
So what do you think we should take the field at?
I'm thinking we could just
It
we
feels
may
like
could
it's
pick it
at a
up
good
lower.
position.
Think so?
I have
Like
10,000 and like
9.5?
15 cents on this thing.
I'm thinking 9.5 maybe. 9. You think?
I don't know. It's holding on my fib line for the 1 hour.
Let
Like
me,
I
let
have
me,
my line
let
at.
me measure it real quick. Hold on.
I mean, last time it was at 9 was 1 o'clock this morning.
If you're going to go to bed on it, Johnny, I'd set it at 9572.
Yeah.
My if it breaks this resistance on the 1 hour of 0.10237,
9575, somewhere around there. Donnie's right. It's got a double touch, so if it goes down, that's as low as it's gonna go.
Yeah.
What coin are y'all talking about?
ACH.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm just holding my.
A
it
10
doesn't cost the money, right?
a 10 cent bag. I mean, it's a gamble. I mean, are you going
I have a
to double
15
bottom?
cent back.
I see the cup he's talking about. That I don't. I mean, if it does the cup, then you'll be 9990254. So I've got yeah, I've got lines drawn out. I mean, it's possible, man. I mean, it's 99, but if I was going to go to bed and put a bag in to sleep on, I would drop it down to the 95, that 955 range, that 9550815 would be my sleeping bag.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 9.55.
Yeah, because I measured from the top of the. Let me measure from the top of the cup to the. Let me see how much retracement that could.
Can I see my chart?
Is she roboting to y'all, or is it just me?
She's in and out.
Roboting a little.
I don't think you'll be able to stream right now when you're roboting already.
I think it's my earpiece. Is that better?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay. It's my earpiece. Sorry guys. I have to get a new headset.
Yeah, you do.
I'm kind of digging the 9.55 too because then I can up the coin count another 5,000 if I do that.
I just be careful of this daggum coin. It's already turned and bit like a snake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, we had the same pattern over before. Yesterday, almost the same pattern.
I'm probably gonna set take profit at like maybe 12.5.
Uh,
If anyone wants to see I stream my chart, just because I see that EMA band or ribbon, it kind of seems like it's an appointed decision.
are you going in at 955, Johnny?
Yeah.
11% would put you at the 1065.
Looks like the resistance at 12 is 11.9 is really tough.
Well, now that we've spent all this time beating around right here where we're at, that's going to be really tough now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be up for a little while longer. We'll see. I went ahead and set it at 955. We'll see what happens.
Well, y'all be careful with it.
Does anybody have any experience with EMA ribbons? The indicator.
The who ribbons? What ribbons?
The EMA ribbons. I'm sorry, I should talk much louder. I've just always been paranoid. I'm yelling at people's ears.
Johnny, I got a
The
pivot.
EMA ribbon.
I've never messed with the EMAs. Johnny, I've got
Are
pivot point at 12.41.7802.
That's what I was thinking too. 12.4, 12.5, something like that. Take profit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to dream on a bag, you might as well dream big, right?
Yeah.
Don't let this snake bite you. He's a mean one.
Yeah, I'm still
I'm
stuck
at
at 15
12.9.
cents.
I know I'm under 13.
I got 10,000 at like 15 cents.
Oh, jeez. That sucks.
I'm right there with you, bro. I got one stuck at 16.889, so
Damn.
I'm right there with you.
I'm alright. No big deal. I'll wait for it.
Yeah.
I will not hit sell on that bag. I promise you.
Yeah, it's kind of like I was able to get in on AMP. I was late to the AMP party and got in at 7 and lost my ass. And then I waited for a while to this big dip 2 weeks ago and got in at 0.39. And it's going to be there for a while. I'm going to long that dude.
AMP has always been bad. AMP has always been bad to me. It's one of those ones that it's like I can't win with it at all. I mean, the
It's a
most
great project,
I
though.
made
It's a really good
$6.
white paper.
I made $6, bro, on $1,000 bag. I made $6.
I made 2,000 on it, but then I threw it back in there, and now I'm stuck.
On my 15-minute chart, I have a long signal and I have a got short signal. And it's respecting that good one. It can pop back up. You can close this one out. Sorry.
I went through the chat through the people that's in the Discord, and I noticed there was a lot of muted people. Is there something going on with that room that people can't talk to us, or what?
I don't know. You know, to be honest with you, Donnie, I haven't been up there very much. Much drama.
No, I'm talking about in our TA class right here, the room we're in now.
A lot of muted people.
Yeah, I hate
Like
that
server
because
muted people. Server muted.
I don't know. That's why I was bringing it to your attention to see if you can see what's going on. Are they server muted or do they mute themselves?
They probably muted themselves.
Can you see the microphones? Are they like the gray and red?
The gray ones are self muted.
Yes.
The red ones are server
Gray
muted.
itself.
Yeah, the red ones are server muted.
Okay,
I did notice there was about a half a dozen of them. I don't know what that's about.
The only one that's muted I see is the simple B.
Yeah,
but there was about a half a dozen in here during the class that I noticed, and I thought that probably they were up in crypto too, and at some point got server muted because of noise or mic or something.
well, I see somebody put it in general chat that we were down here and somebody shared my YouTube stream.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, somebody did.
Oh, good. Okay. Well.
Hey, I got 6 thumbs up, y'all.
Well, that's good. Oh, even though I've been messing with this program a lot, I feel like I know it a little better now too. You just got to play with it for a while.
Yep.
So Donnie, I just want to know, can I have the first fangirl position? Two of those, like, I think mine.
The first what? The first what?
Fangirl. I'm
Oh.
just joking. Of Donnie's fan club.
Of the Johnny fan club?
Of the Donnie.
Oh, okay, yeah, by all means.
The Donnie fan club, because I think I gave him 2 likes.
You were talking to Donnie. I'm sorry. I heard
Yeah,
Johnny.
yeah, on his YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
I gave him 2 of the 6 likes, and I'll keep streaming it for you, Donnie.
I've got a fan club. How about that? I got my first fangirl. I'm blushing.
I'm the farthest thing from this. That's why it's funny. If you knew my personality, I'm the farthest thing from.
It's okay.
I just like to support great people. So.
I appreciate the support, and I'm glad everybody wants to learn. It's exciting to me that people take the time. I wish people would ask questions. I feel like, did I do what I was supposed to do? I mean, was my course what I showed y'all? Did it answer enough questions so you don't have questions? If you have questions, please ask right now.
Well, I tell you what, any accurate information is good information in my opinion, because one of the reasons why I don't hang out in the TA channels anymore is because there's so much FUD, and there's not much of an attempt to really stomp it down. At least what I've heard, there's, everybody kind of humors everybody in there, and so it's like when you give classes and you open the floor and you allow for good information to come in, whether it be about taxes or whether it be about 3 commas or other platforms or strategy. I mean, and it's good, accurate information, then I'm totally down for that, because I think the biggest problem is just there's so much FUD about everything out there. And as new people come in, right, that's the biggest problem they're going to face is, most people, when they come into a community, they're new, they don't know shit. They're typically going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and by doing so, could lose lots of money. So when you guys give classes and stuff and allow for that everybody to kind of open floor, and it's good, accurate information, definitely a good thing in my opinion.
I agree.
I appreciate that.
Especially when it's teaching you how to do your own work, and that's helping you to become a better trader.
Right.
Not just listening to other people, but you learn. That's what I need to learn. That's why I'm here every day. Donnie does one.
And Johnny, thank you so much for your help, because we need an experienced guy here to kind of guide us along.
Well, and that's the funny thing about it. There was a time, so that's what I did. Even though I've been doing this a while, I wasn't always in this channel. So, I was primarily an investment miner, and I traded every now and then, when there was massive crashes. But I didn't do any. I didn't even swing trade. I was just I just mined, stuck it, staked it, and every now and then I'd pull it out. I would DCA it down and then stick it back in there. So when I came to this channel about 3-4 months ago, I did that. I kind of gave folks the benefit of the doubt on some of this information, and totally lost my ass. I'm thinking, okay, some of this stuff is not, and I learned, I kind of decided that I needed to educate myself. So I was like, well, okay, let's instead of going in and pointing fingers, and I'm just going to go educate myself. So in doing so, that's where I garnered a lot of this information. And then you learn who to listen to and who not to listen to. That's a lesson you got to learn too. And I learned that as well. So, and then learning how to apply it, and not just listening to somebody's advice and just taking it for face value, but listening to that advice, checking it with your own research, and then doing the research to understand why that's a good decision. Not just thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do this because Donnie told me to. Even it's a good advice. I encourage people to go do the research. Why is it good advice? Open your mind to understanding why this is a good decision, not just because it's a good decision because Donnie said so.
or Jack or any
or anybody else.
right.
Yeah, you just summed up, Johnny, exactly in a very articulated way why I didn't allow myself to join the Discord group. I listened for 3 months on YouTube purposely, but I wouldn't have be influenced by, you know, outside voices in the sense of me asking questions, confusing myself. So I think you're spot on. Very good way.
You know, and along the way, you know, throughout the research, I learned stuff that I hadn't learned in Discord.
Right.
Bad things, and good things. Because it's not just I'm not picking on Tame's Discord channel here.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of stupid shit out there. I mean, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, you know,
No.
I'm gonna put it this way. I don't care what kind of hype party you go to. If you buy into hype at any party, no matter what party you go to, you lost money because you was buying liquor drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same way in
Nope.
here. If you're buying the drinks that they're serving, you're going to get your ass wrecked. Because,
right.
I mean, there's a lot of good information, but you got to know how to pick it apart. You got to know who's throwing, you know, what where and take tidbits from all of it. You know, and, you know, I ain't bragging on Jack or me, but me and him, we became real good buddies. And, you know, if I see something popping, I'll shoot him a text. Now I have to call him. But you know, I'll let him know, hey, this is popping, and same way, he'll be like, hey, Donnie, you need to look at this. I mean, it's just you you make a a friendship with all these people on here, and then you understand, hey, these are the ones that are trying to help me, help them, help us.
And I appreciate the not that I expect Discord in the very name, you know, it says it all, but I appreciate the environment aspect and learn because that's the reason I stepped over the line. Join Discord. Be the best investor that I can be and, you know, grow my skill set, teach others.
Well, you know, it's like anything when there are people involved. It's just
Yeah, you get humans together, you're automatically gonna have, you know, a lot of challenges with conflict. But I think the group has grown immensely. And, you know, kind of
man, hey,
the
Donnie,
whole.
it's a lot different than it was 4 months ago. I think,
No shit.
man, all those people, I would say easily 60% of the people that were in there as what I would consider regulars 4 months ago are gone. And then and then when you have a really bull market, suddenly all these people show up, right? Because then it's easy to be an expert when it's a bull market, and then you get a big parabolic crash, and then all those people just vanish until it gets bullish again. Then they come back.
And I forgot to mention, I didn't come on Discord and think it was. I knew exactly what environment I was. I worked in investment office recruiters all day,
Uh,
20 years ago. I know the environment that I was stepping into, so I didn't expect anything
uh,
less than what it is. But I appreciate just all of us exchanging.
So, Donnie, I've kind of relocated to 420 for the most part. So, if you need me, come down in there and bump me on the head uh, anytime. So,
Your new
Thank,
stomping ground.
thank you, everybody.
yeah, it's a bit laid back, and there's not there's not the egos, there's not the pretentiousness.
Sometimes the egos are so big. Like,
Yeah,
the room, and we're all in separate parts of the room.
I've personally, since I've been here, watched this channel grow and get better. There's not
I
near
have
the
to.
swearing. There's not the cussing there was. There's not the fighting and the arguing, needless idiocy. You know, it's more people trying to help each other now, and I really like the improvement.
yeah. I will say, I will speak to that. That quality has improved, but you know, Tame's done a lot of work. Love him or hate him, he's uh, really cracked down on a lot of stuff. You know, so but I agree with that. It used to be the Wild West, Donnie, didn't it?
Oh man, whew, it was bad. I mean, you were always fighting with somebody on the mic, and people were, there was fights in the general chat all the time. I mean, Johnny used to get tickled at me because I'd call somebody out in a heartbeat.
Yeah. See, as even though I'm a mod and have been for a while, I, out of principle, I never went into TAing on the mic. Just out of principle, because in my opinion, it's a TA channel. Yes, I can do TA for me, but that's the extent of it. So for me, I didn't feel like going in there and getting on the mic. But Donnie was in there, so it's like when somebody was in there acting stupid or spewing some FUD, I would just tag Donnie in general, so he would and spank somebody in TA.
Well, Donnie's going to weed him out real quick.
Yeah, he would do that anyway. That's Donnie and I think bonded over trolling people.
I don't even remember what that name. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name. But God
There were
Almighty,
a couple of them, dude. There were a couple of them where I would troll the hell out of them in general because they never come in there, so I didn't care. They could always come in there and see it. It's like I'm hiding or anything. But Donnie was in TA on voice. And Donnie would come in and check. He'd LOL at something, and then he would go back in. But Donnie's patient. He can be pretty patient. But a couple of nights though, he just had enough, dude. I lived vicariously through him a couple of times.
With the state.
Anybody else have anything?
I was just gonna say that I've been listening for months, and I've seen the change in the environment. I've only been on YouTube, Discord with this group for maybe a few weeks or maybe a month now. But the one thing I have noticed,
I'm so glad you're with us. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I had to say that.
Turn your stream off, sweetie.
I forgot what I was saying now.
Turn your stream off because it's making you waffle on your volume. We'd rather hear you. But yeah, I love your chart. It's beautiful. Now, what were you saying, young lady?
Oh, I know, I remember. Just that what the gentleman was saying about you know be careful who you listen to or that kind of thing. That is so true because one thing I realized we're really full of more new people, and that's why I'm always so eager when Rick comes in or this Chad guy that just came, to get some TA that I feel like I could trust a little better, just information to learn from.
hold on, Chad's back.
Yeah.
He was a couple times. Yeah, he's been back a couple times.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he actually came down to 420 for a while with us last night.
Damn, man, how's he doing?
Doing good. Dankleaf showed back up too for a little bit.
Really? That's awesome.
I miss him. He was always so fun when I was on YouTube with. But Chad had, I guess it was like his second father passed away, and all of his children are in Europe, so he's having to take care of the affairs or the house and everything. So that's where he's been.
Right. I was just, it was sad to see because that dude's a monster. I mean, he's a great trader. I mean, I really looked up to Chad. He was one that just, you know, watch him on screen, take $10,000 and, you know, put $1,500 in his pocket on a trade. It's just like, what the hell? That's on live stream right there, dude. I mean, he didn't give a damn.
And he said he was going to do it again. He said, I'll be back trading with you guys again soon.
I'm telling you, it's cool to watch, but and that's where like with this 3 commas, being able to do things like that, that's what inspired me to learn the 3 commas is watching people like that do live scouts, even watching Tame do his live scouts and stuff, and see how can I get down at the bottom because we get so much emotion involved in it. It's like, no, that's not the bottom. No, 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 don't buy yet, don't buy yet. And next thing you know, you've got a 1% candle that done went up on you. You're like, damn, I should have hit the button. And that's why I love this program. And because you set it, you sit back, watch it happen. You your emotion, you just took your emotion and put it in that create.
Be quick.
Fire, buddy. What's
Or
your
when you buy, when you think.
Does anyone do that as well to offer a comparison?
You're robot.
Is my mic better? I apologize. So sorry, you guys. I'm ordering a new headset this week.
much better, Jen? The
Much
guy that
better,
was
but
the guy that was asking a question, you were roboting real bad, so nobody could hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Does anyone use both the commas and Biscap to offer maybe a comparison between the two?
I've used both. Um, I used to use Bitsgap regularly. Um, I did like the trading, just the trading platform on Bitsgap, but the three commas compared to Bitsgap, there's no comparison. Um,
Yeah, three
not
commas
even
and
close.
crypto hopper. Three commas and crypto hopper are way more intuitive than Bitscap is.
Crypto Hopper is a nicer platform, but you better know what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a no joke place. I mean,
it's
you got to
also
have some knowledge,
expensive.
and it is very expensive.
So Donnie, have you watched any Crypto Faces streams?
That name sounds familiar. I may have.
He streams $8 million trades.
Yeah, I
It's
did
great.
watch. I did watch one of his. That's amazing.
He made $880,000 in 2 hours.
Could you imagine, bro?
Paper trading? Just kidding, sorry.
No, his name is Crypto Face. He does like 4 million, $8 million streams or trades and streams it. And the $8 million one he did a couple of days ago, 40,000 people watched it live.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine hitting that buy button?
And what's really good about his streams though, and why they're so long, is because there's a buildup. So he uses Market Cipher and a bunch of other stuff. So he goes through there and he explains what the indicators, the who, what, when, where, how, why to build up, and so you just don't get a 5 minute video of somebody pushing a button. You get like a 2.5 hour lead up. He plays music in the background and he'll step in and say, okay, yeah, this is looking good. We're going to keep this going. And he explains everything, and you get to see his market ciphers on his screen and stuff, and it's just, I mean, wow.
is he shorting or longing, and what is he using to do
He's
it?
doing all kinds of shit, man.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you too, Jack and Donnie. You might want to check out if you don't already, BitBoy, because he talks about a lot of different projects. So with all the stuff that you guys are trading,
He's good too. He's good too. I've seen a couple of.
and he has Crypto Face on there. He has him on as a guest. It's really cool. Every day they have like almost like a news channel called Around the Block.
Yeah,
Around the blockchain. Yeah, it's really informative. That's another channel I started watching before I started investing in crypto, and it really helped me understand a lot.
Yeah, I got him on TikTok. I watch a lot of his TikTok stuff.
That's awesome.
And Voss Coin, if anybody, Johnny, have you heard of Voss Coin?
I have.
Designing. Yeah, I like him. Do you like him?
Yeah, I do. I'm a BitBoy Crypto Face guy. But
Yeah,
I have seen a couple of Boss's videos.
I feel like he's very fair. He gives a honest, not too biased. Or if he is biased, he says why he is biased.
And that's why I don't pay attention to media at all. And I get most of my information from guys like that.
Yeah, I don't look at. I really don't. I mean, if I'm in the car, I'll do Sirius Radio and listen to Bloomberg.
Yeah, it's like
that's about it.
In the morning when I get up, I'll check my news feed, my Google News feed, and the sheer amount of bullshit about
It's
crypto
ridiculous.
on there, dude. It's like,
I
oh,
wouldn't put my money anywhere if I read the news.
people
Or
talking
I
about how people talking about Amazon's going to take SHIB and all this. I'm just like, really? Stop it.
yeah, it's hard to weed through for people, new people especially, to weed through like what is like, you know, valid and what's BS.
Well, you have to dip your toes into the subculture a little bit, and that's the thing about it is that you don't. I mean, none of us would have known any of this shit, or we wouldn't even be here if we hadn't have, you know, cautiously eased into the subculture a little bit. You know, so whenever I see mainstream media or all that stuff, you know, some Ethereum developer who is not is anonymous on 8chan saying that,
Right.
you know, whatever, I'm just kind of like, my God, no, you know, and that's what makes the media, you know. So I learned to kind of just filter that out. But a lot of my friends in real life, they do crypto as well, and they're way into shit coins, and I'm just kind of like they're like big time FOMO FUD. I'm just kind of like, no, that's not true. And I try to get them into some of these channels like BitBoys and and even get them to come here, and they're just like, I'm like, well then, okay, then fine, you lose all your money, I don't care.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
I know, man, I know.
So
But you showed where the water was. Well,
that's right. So
on
guys,
you.
I was just looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. You know how Jolt was talking about it playing out earlier. Well, the RSI did not run up because when it bumped into the 4 hour, when the 1 hour bumped into the 4 hour coming down, the 1 hour turned down and went down. And now, so that shortened up our fall. So instead of us having the 1 hour and 4 hour falling together at this point, is about where we should be getting close to where they were both would be falling together. We're actually in a position where the 4 hour has come down and it's turned a little tail out like it's trying to hook up. The 1 hour has turned up and come up, and Bitcoin has got a nice green candle running on the 1 hour. So, and I was just happened to look up and seen Doge. You know, y'all see me lose that trade earlier when we started this on that paper trade. Look what Doge has done in the last little bit. I mean, it's made a good scream here.
Do you notice that through all this, ADA has remained absolutely still?
Yes, I mean it's a rock. So hour and 36 minutes, Doge has done 4.19%. ACH is sideways.
Isn't it supposed to? Is ADH trying to be a stable coin?
ADA or ACH?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Were you guys talking about ACH?
And ADA, yeah.
Yeah. ADA is. That's the one I was wondering.
I don't think so.
Thought I was reading something today, but
because it does a lot of smart contracts. So I don't. I'd be surprised if it was a stable coin.
it's interesting that it is having such. It's just kind of hanging where it's been hanging where it's been at.
I'm
Right.
totally happy. I'm happy about that.
That's what I mean. It's giving it some stability, which is nice.
I'm a Matic Cardano
Yeah.
guy, so I'm happy to see that. Of course, Matic has a history of being a crazy ex-girlfriend, but ADA seems to be pretty stable.
Yep. Analogy.
Um,
I concur. Great analogy. That was excellent.
you might want to pay attention to farm. You might want to put farm on your watch list. It's cooling off.
Farm?
Yeah, FARM
Yep.
on Coinbase. Put it on your watch list. It's cooling off pretty good. If you and Trio are going to throw some bags, you might want to pay attention because that one's going to have a possibility of doing about 50%.
The project is funding for farmers, I believe, lending or something. Yeah, I almost bought it like a month ago, you guys. I like stumbled upon it and I looked at the chart and everything and I was like, I like the project, you know, what it says, and so I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy some.
I like it that you're a good studier.
Well, I am naturally by nature a researcher.
That
so.
is a beefy coin, dude. $200. Jeez.
Yeah, but it was down. It was way down on a dip, like a month and a half ago.
For like $10.
Yeah, it was cheap, right?
Like 5 minutes ago.
So like it'll shoot.
Just scalping it.
It'll probably it'll have a good chance of doing 18% on the low side.
This morning at 8:15 a.m. CDT, it was 152, and it went up from 8 a.m. to 12 noon to 295.
Yeah, that's what appealed to
Holy
me.
shit.
I saw didn't it have it had a past parabolic move like that too, I think, for it's
24-hour price actions plus 55%.
something about it really stuck out to me and appealed to me when I looked at the chart. It was like, I think this could be something.
So you could possibly get 30% if it goes back to the 295.
Is that where the dip might bottom out?
Well, right now it's still cooling off. I mean, it's got probably another 4 or 5 hours to cool off, but that's once everything gets back down to the bottom, it's gonna be ready to go. It'll be.
I'm gonna look on crypto.com. I can't remember if
All of these like fintechs are pretty hefty right now.
Yeah.
What was that? Also, has anybody been looking at Litecoin today? It's been making a lot of rips and dips.
Yeah, I have a couple. I have a few.
I hold Litecoin.
Just scalping that, kind of just listening to everybody.
It does have nice movement but I'm on Robinhood, so half the time the limit buys and sells don't work.
If you got a ball,
I thought you had another platform besides Robinhood.
Yeah, I don't have the Litecoin. I had bought the Litecoin previously before I joined the group.
That's like on a Coinbase, I think, or something.
Yeah, I have some coins on Coinbase, but my Litecoin is on Robinhood, unfortunately.
AMP is ripping.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh, you mean Ant went to 5 cents? Oh wow, great.
It busted out. It broke out. Yeah, it broke out.
Who is?
AMP.
Oh yeah, 605. Saddle up.
All right.
Yeehaw.
I'm holding mine. I have like 17,000. My whole bag is, about 3/4 of my portfolio is in AMP right now.
That's totally great. It's a great. I'm hoping at some point They were saying that it might be at $10 in December.
I just believe in it. The more and more I know, and also just or that I hear, because anyway, it's a lot of information.
Great project. It's a great project. It's exactly what crypto needs, is a project like this to help make brick and mortar vendors be able to receive and spend crypto better. Hell yeah.
Exactly. Point of sale transactions are definitely needed.
Isn't this the one that they use the collateral from your crypto to process the payment? Yep.
Johnny, I'm gonna put another one on your radar, buddy.
Okay.
BCH.
Oh, Bitcoin Cash?
Yes, sir. Watch it. It's
I used to play around with that a little bit.
It's been rocking and rolling. It's been doing some great moves. Storage has been.
Storage. I use storage is a good project too. That's cloud-based storage for developers on the blockchain. It's pretty badass. I caught it when it was at 70 on the last dip and rode it all the way to 115. Made a good little profit off of it. But storage is good stuff.
I had it at 71, and then it dipped way down, and I just wanted to liquidate some money, and I sold off of it. I saw it go way, and I was like,
Another one that I mention, you guys, is to take a. I don't regret buying is Elrond. It's doing really. It's performing really well recently, and I've got just got a couple, but yeah, it's ranked number 50, and it's got a 2.348 billion market cap.
That's good numbers.
Yeah, Elrond describes itself as a new blockchain architect designed to bring a 1,000-fold cumulative improvement in throughput and execution speed to achieve the. So it's anyway, you can find it on it.
Well, guys, if y'all don't have nothing else for me, I'm gonna call this stream a night.
Right on.
It's been awesome.
Move on back to the basement.
Thanks again.
Like I said, I'm gonna leave this stream up. You know, everybody kept asking me tip jar. So on my YouTube channel, I did put the Doge bag on there. I did put the XLM wallet on there. That's on there. I appreciate it. You don't have to, but those of you that wanted it, I did it. There it is. Ta-da. But I want to thank everybody. Appreciate everybody's input, everybody's help. Jack, thank you so much. Johnny, appreciate you jumping in. Trill, thank you so much for always helping out. You know, jumping in and everybody. It just shows how good this community really is. Thank all of you so much. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, John.
You got it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Donnie.
Hey, Trill. Where'd he go? Are you at Trill?
I bet he's down there where you're going.
No, he's in here. He'll catch me.
Yeah, he helped me out down there earlier.
Hey Jack, do your birds at night, do you have to put a little slip cover over their cage and they go to sleep, or how do they do?
Yeah, I do for the little ones. The big one likes to kind of Fanny, the bigger one likes to kind of see what I'm doing in the evening, so I let him. Yeah, she knows I'm talking about her now. Anyway, yeah, she is. She wants